energy. And how is it that you relate to energy? Do you relate to energy as a way to live your life, or do you react to it? Do you let it control you? Do you let it dictate how it is supposed to look? You get to choose. Did you know that? You get to choose. And what does that even mean? Well, most people don't realize. But you are energy. You're electromagnetic energy. You always have and always will be. How you respond to your life tells a lot about what are the programs, what are the paradigms, what is the matrix, what is your story, what is the group consciousness, what is all of this? Well, stay tuned, because I am Brenda Jean Power, and I'm a medicine woman. And part of the movement is to help you wake up into this new 5D and more world. It's important to begin to look at life through your spirit self, not your ego anymore. It is learning how to see between the two worlds, to live in that veil, to just say, you know what, here I'm lifting it, but not be afraid. Because your brain likes to reject things. Oh, good God, does it love to reject? It thinks that, if the ego's in charge, is what? No, wait, what? No, it can't change. I hate change. Oh, I can't control it. Well, hold on now. I didn't pin the video. So everybody say hello to Amy then. Amy, you forgot what?
I said hi, everybody.
Okay, wonderful. Now we are going to know more about energy. We're going to learn about energy. Why? Because that's what you are. We're amazing. But when our body's consciousness takes over, what do you mean body consciousness? Aren't we all? Isn't that just us? Glad you asked. Let me explain. We have our programs and our body knows them well. We have the innate intelligence that runs everything. We have a recorder that records everything. But it's how we interpret it. It's how we decide what's it going to look like. How are we going to respond? How are we going to react? And it's the dancing of these two energies. I mean, right now, they're meant to be button heads to head. Why? Because that's the era. That is the 3D world. That's the level of consciousness. And eventually, you're going to grow into the next phase of yourself. You're going to wake up. You're going to start responding differently. You're going to start developing your spiritual side. So what does even that mean? And I hope I'm not frozen, but my one computer says I am. But does it look like it's flowing to you guys? Let's get all the audio stuff out of the way if that's the case. Now, see on my screen over here, it doesn't show me drinking coffee. But I am. Hey, David. Hey, James. Look at all you guys. Look at all you. Hello, Murray. Kathy. Hey, are you back? Hey, Patty. So what is going on here? Are we frozen?
No, it's just that far behind.
I mean, literally, I have not moved on this screen. So
it's literally now you're drinking coffee.
Well, that's that's usually the 30-second. Oh, so my iPad is finally catching up. Okay, I'm used to having a delay when I watch the computer. Wow, it's really behind.
Mm-hmm. It's like a good 40 seconds.
Holy crap. Well, hopefully in YouTube land, everything's all right. And welcome to you at Medicine Woman Solution. Today is different. Today is, what makes this show different? What makes this show different is because you get to understand more of energy, healing tools, and actually learning how to shift things. I've decided I'm going to start to introduce you to some of the healing tools. Because even if you know them, you may not know them. Some of you may not. Thank you, Patty. Some of you may not know how to do them. Now, I have a website that you go to, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. You go under healing tools and you're just going to keep looking at all the different kind of healing tools. There are some to help you manifest. There are some to help you resolve the past, some to reclaim your power, some to remove ickiness, taking and changing our sensory system, the way we hold the patterns in, and our energies. Usually will tell you a story, and it'll be based upon the meridians talking. Yes, you can incorporate chakras. Yes, you can incorporate all these other things. But it is basically learning how to wake up. That's the biggest thing. You're in transition right now. You're learning how to become a spiritual human, not a religious person, a spiritual human, not an ultra spiritualist, because that is somebody that doesn't know how to walk their talk or talk their walk. They know how to preach it. They just don't know how to demonstrate it. So does everybody know what that means? Okay. Most of you know, Trina, most of you know what it feels like to be the enemy. Some of you may not realize that you have to be the asshole in other people's lives. Some people, there's all these different variations of what and who we are. Okay? This is the thing that I teach in my classes. And right now, the pilot class it's forming. Because there are people that if you don't know who you are, you may be an introvert, you may be an extrovert, you may be able to work alone better than working with somebody. But sometimes you need to get somebody that has been there, you have to consider the source, because sometimes you may need more than one teacher to help you break free from this pattern that you hold. Okay? So there's no right way to learn and no wrong way to learn. There is the way that you're choosing to wake up and to eventually graduate yourself to love, joy, peace. Now, this is where the big argument comes in. But if all there is love, joy, and peace. Now, The Good Place, it's a TV show on Netflix. They have the thought pattern that when you finally get to heaven, you're eventually going to get bored. But bored is a concept of what? Ego. There is, once you get to heaven, that's it. No, it's not it. We are so far descended from Source. We think that if we just die, we're going to go right back to Source. You'll eventually get there, but you got a lot of shit to unwind. Okay? You have past lives, you have different blueprints, you have paradigms, you have different levels. Half of you don't even know how to read your life. When whatever you did as little or observed, mirror consciousness, and the things that you're trying to do your best to get get out of that, is that these are some of these patterns that are in our soul. These are our codes. These are encodings. This is our responses, our reactions. And when you begin to wake up, so if you used to be a tattletale when you were little, are you still doing it? But doing it in an adult way? If you had severed love and yet you're trying to get somebody to love you back, what ways did you do as a child to get it? Okay. What do you do? What did you do? And how did you upgrade those through ego as a way to say I'm mature? Well, now you have to graduate from that and get into the soul. So you can move into a non-judgmental space. And it isn't about, I'm non-judgmental. Oh, look at me. No. It is in the kaleidoscope of life. It is, holy shit. Seeing the other side of it, seeing another perspective, moving away from, oh, I have to react this way or react this way. It is healing it to the point that you feel the shift in your thinking, in your acting, in your being. That the meridians within yourself begin to respond differently. Now, if you have a question, because since this is time for Spirit to teach you how in different ways to help you grow out of your hells. Hells are the things of why you came here and asked me in the first place. It's like, I need this answer. I need this and that. Sadness, anything negative, anything that's an old pattern. You go ahead and you email me. That way you're going to get your answer. Because like I said, oftentimes my projection is that you'll disappear when I go to address it. Because I didn't show up to you when you wanted it. That's mine. I got to heal this. But we want to create a communication. So yes, I will get to your questions. And I will move into that particular space when the time comes. So we're going to collect your questions. This way you get to ask. And this way everybody gets this particular attention. Now, sometimes Spirit will have me look at something that's been said to address it differently. And I will. But right now, Spirit says to stay on point. Okay, these are suggestions, but because I'm running a show and I'm choosing to let this be a Medicine Woman Solution show, a way to say this is how you have a solution to certain things in life. Help you address it, help you change it. Today it's about energy. So let's look. I think I need red earrings. What do you think? Kind of like I'm digging my red hair. And I'm going to go get some red, permanent red to fix that. There's a lot of stuff that your body does symptom-wise that is related to the body giving you messages. It is metaphysically, how do you listen? It's a how-to. It's kind of the show's about like a how-to. How to listen to yourself. How to do a live meditation. How to interact with that higher self. Well, when it comes to doing a live meditation, it is the simple fact. It's about how you are consciously choosing through your spiritual self to change your brainwave to be able to observe while you're in your ego lesson of hell and responding with your ego. You think, how can you do that? It can be done. It is in the awakening process of how you end up doing that. Hi, Lillian. So, when you're ready to heal, when you're ready to grow. Larissa says, I feel like hope therapy works good in the shower. Yes, I use hope therapy everywhere. Okay, so I'm developing a spiritual game. And we haven't quite figured out, spiritually evolving ego. And it can be spiritual aggravation. It is as you spiritually, instead of looking at life competitively, you end up learning how, there's a reaction, you took my spot, blah, blah, blah. Learning that the door was not open to you, it was closed to you, but yet you're jealous and envied because they're ahead or they got it and you didn't. You thought that one was yours. That, to the point, I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate hope therapy into the game. Because when you get to the end of the game and you start to reincarnate and you're like looking at that spot, you're like, I only have, and every time you get to the end where you're just like a one to roll a 1 to win and you get a 6 and you got to go all the way back around again. How do you respond to it? So that's when I end up using the healing tools. And usually it is, I'll take a card and I put in different levels of spirituality and through the meridians, and then you roll and find out which one it is, so it helps you address. So you're not just using your ego. And then you use the healing tool and you focus on that, and it's worked wonders because all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this thing's deep. Well, this is where I take offense. Oh my goodness, this is where I lost power. Oh my goodness. Because you go into a non-judgmental space, but you can feel it. You're like, you're learning how to train yourself to find that it's you're feeling. You don't have to really listen to the thoughts as much as, something's there. It needs to be addressed. And slowly, so this game, I can't wait for I get to perfect it. And me and my husband will get to perfect it. And then we'll start to hopefully find a game distributor to just sell it, make it and sell it. That we were even thinking of doing card games and other little things. It is meant to help wake you up. I want a chakra game too. So they're all in development. Now I'm supposed to take a breath. Really take a breath. And apparently I want to drink my coffee because my body's going, we need this. I don't feel like I need it. Do I want it? Energetically, have you ever felt like you sabotaged yourself? And did you feel like, yeah, put that cookie down. Put that drink down. Do you know that your body and your brain's going, I need that protein, but you mistake it for alcohol. I need that protein. Or I need that fat, that healthy fat that you have been deemed and told and brainwashed that healthy fat is bad. Yeah. Stay away from the polycitrates. And I know I said that completely wrong. Stay away from those kind of fats. But your brain needs certain fats and proteins. And how you respond and how you think, it's all about how you stored your emotions, how your brain functions. Like I have sometimes my frontal lobe, where you create reality. If I'm not stimulated enough, I just won't do it. So I was exercising for a good month and then we went on vacation. I come back, I couldn't be bothered. And I'm like, okay, I want to heal that. But no, you have to understand your brain. If it doesn't stimulate you, you ain't going to do it. And I'm like, oh, it's about the motivation. Well, it's a little bit more than that. I'm like, oh, so I've been getting to learn me. So these healing tools help your brain. Why? Because your brain is what helps dictate the body. So between 11 and 1, if you notice AM or PM that you have issues, you need to address that story. So the 11 and 1, I noticed that when the storm came through, I started to have like a sinus issue. But then I don't. After 11 and 1, it usually quits. Sometimes it'll build or go 11 to 3. Well, if you understand 11 to 1 at night is gallbladder and 11 to 1 during the day is, I know this one. My brain says, oh, we got to look it up because we don't want to be wrong. Okay, it's heart. So the gallbladder and the heart. And I say, okay, so why is these two going on? Well, it's my coping tool. My heart says I have to cope with something because I can't cope with feeling overpowered. As I look familiarly at that past, it's like, shit. I always have people that have erratic energies and that overpowers me. And I don't have the ability to just process it out. Can I even cope with it? So those two meridians will kick in. So every 2 hours you have a meridian that works at its peak and that's best. Sometimes it'll have to take energy from other places. So I'm learning how to work with it. At night, I'll get my second wind. And that's the gallbladder. I'll get my second wind. And then my heart says, yeah, we ain't going to calm down for nothing. And then from 1 to 3, it is that liver. At night, AM, so 1 to 3 a.m. is the liver. And it's trying to process out the day's event. And then when I'm looking, I'm like, okay, so what about the day's event? Well, then that's 1 to 3 small intestine. It's like, yep, I wasn't paid attention to, or I was given the wrong kind of attention. So it's like, but you need to know who you are and what you are. That's one of the reasons I do these shows. But resolving tools are the best tool for you because you don't have to keep running around in circles. But the only way to do that is you need to begin to wake up, or you could, if you didn't wake up, but you need to still use tools. Look at how you believe. If you can believe in, now notice the word lie, L-I-E, is in the belief. You can be a lie, or you can be live. You can learn how to live in a different way. So Amy, is your triple warmer going off, I take it?
Yep, I'm freezing.
Okay. Not only is it winter there, but she has been learning that her body, when something goes off, Okay, she'll begin to freeze. Her temperature. Now that's usually liver. 1 to 3 is liver. That's for over here. Now, what time is it there for you?
It is 10 minutes to 9 at night.
Okay. Hello, Amy. Amy got a new haircut. So she got some we call bangs, and then in Australia they call fringe. When they said they like my fringe, I'm looking at them going, I kept trying to figure out, is my slip? Wait a minute, what's a fringe? On the fringe of my, do you see that I'm psychic? What do you like, my friend? You know, and then, or is my funny because they got the fringe festival? I mean, and then somebody goes, no, this. I go, oh, we call those bangs. They go bangs, you know, like bang, bang. So I thought it was beautiful to see how different cultures, different people think. And there's no right way or wrong way. It's just, you know, can we still communicate? Yes. So you said it was around 9. So you got to understand from 9 to 11, okay, 9 to 11 p.m. is triple warmer. So your triple warmer is trying to work right now. So then I'd have to ask, okay, let's look at 9 to 11 a.m. and that's spleen. And there's a part of you that feels attacked. Was it something I said? No. Was it something? So it's a resonant broadcast that you got when you were 2. So see, this tells you. So 2 years old, something's coming up at that time. So if I asked more of the story, they said, well, it's my stability. It's unstable. Why does it feel unstable? Because I feel panic that I'm going to be attacked for my behavior. Do you feel that? Nope. Nope. Mm-hmm. See, there's no register. There's no register. So then I'll say to Spirit, all right, give me the story. And they said, okay, well, it's part of how you self-abuse. It's part of how you talk to yourself. It's part of how you had to handle the pain, that the pain that happened at 2. So it's about how on autopilot you become. So this is how your body reacts. This is the message that it has. And it goes, I am rejecting something out of my reality. I must be no good. Why did she show up that way? So it was me. So it wasn't me directly. It was something that I did. Now it's called an engram. An engram is this particular thing that all things equal the same. So if you had a bad experience and you attached it to love, you would have love equals bad experience. Okay. Well, during that time, it is, okay, Brenda took her video off. I can't see her. Therefore, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so there's a part of you that didn't know, but you took offense and you lost power. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now when I ask you, did you feel like maybe you did something wrong or felt attacked? Does that make more sense?
It makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in our behaviors. It's in our reactions. It's in how we think what other people think. It's that RTJP, that right temporal junction parietal lobe. That darn lobe, as it gets developed around 2 or 3, we try to think what other people think. And if we're successful, we're safe. But if we got it wrong, we don't feel safe. So we're always trying to do safety, security, and stability. If I ask on the stability, mental, it was emotional. Physical, spiritual, it was emotional. And what is, they said, it was in something in the engram was the action that I did sparked her to have a particular memory, like when she was 6, again at 9. And it was about fear, or it's on something's unfair. Something's unfair. Oh, now all I hear is, where were you? You didn't include me. You left me out. Are we not telling? So that's, okay, let's back it up. You thought we weren't doing a show today. Yes?
I didn't know.
Okay, well, I was with a client and but I put up the thing last night. Yes, we're doing a show. This morning I put up a thing that says we're going to do the show. You were relying on something maybe from Zoom that told you we were supposed to be doing a show? What were you relying on? What notification were you trying to get to let you know that we were still having the show? See? She doesn't know, but she didn't receive it. And she knew that. And therefore it was, we're not having a show. Okay. Or I can go dig deeper. See, there was a different energy about it. It was a different signature. You've seen this behavior before. And when I ask when, 6 and 9. So there was a panic. Did you feel any panic whatsoever?
No.
Now, I'm going to show you how she says no. That means you wouldn't have been able to see me today.
Sure.
And I want to see my mommy. I want to see my friend. I want to see my safety and my stability. I want to see that everything's all right. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we love her and we appreciate her vulnerability because this is tough. It's part of feeling like it's in the hot seat. But we're not judging her. She had agreed a while back to, I'm willing to show people. Now, did you even know that was sitting there?
Mm-mm.
No. Did you see that? How long? She's like, I'm looking. She has not even known what panic feels like. But her body's going, oh, shit, here we go. Oh, and it's talking to her. But she's like, I'm not listening. La, 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 la. I'm not listening. Okay. So part of awakening is to become aware of your physical responses. Why? Do you like how you live your life? Yes. On the other part, if you really looked at it, are you happy and joyful 24/7?
No.
Do you feel like the majority of your time or your 41 thoughts per minute are of joy and peace and creativity?
No.
No. So do you want out of that? Or do you like your comfort zone?
No, I want out.
Okay. So I was saying, can you heal it now? But first they're like, Amy, psst. You can't hear it at the whisper. It's like, Amy, Amy. Okay, she can't hear us. Cue the husband to come in and be an asshole. Okay. And all of a sudden it's like the Truman Show. Oh yeah, Amy. I'm not good. But the point is, he strikes all the chords. What am I displaying? It is all of how her power is being lost, or how she feels the power coming in, or she feels how her auto responses are. It's okay. She's testing the ground. The body's in a panic because oh look, it's Tuesday. He's going to be here at any minute now. So her body's already prepping before something occurs.
She stopped in and I didn't morph.
She didn't morph. Would you like to explain that so they understand? Now, again, morphing is, when you become a human, you have a whole glossary of new words. So explain what a morph is.
It's where when I'm in someone else's space or they're in my space, I somehow turn into them.
Yes.
How it happens, I don't know, but
yeah. And even think of them and they're not even in the same space. Even when they're dead. Shit, my body started responding. I had a memory that popped up from my body's consciousness, and I hadn't realized as I was thinking about it. That's the 41 thoughts per minute. And all of a sudden, it was like I could feel my body start. Spirit says, pay attention, pay attention. I'm like, I checked my polarity. It was off. I said, I'm Brenda. Nope. Who am I? And I heard was, look at the story. What were you thinking? What was it about? I said, I am my sister. I said my sister's name. My body goes, yes, you are. And if I could feel the symptoms, I began to understand more of what she was going through, or what I imagined that she was going through. But the body was doing this. And I had to reclaim myself, kick that energy out, because that's not me. Okay? If that makes sense. Now, I can't remember what I asked you. Something's going on with you. And then Marie says when she was accidentally put up on the screen and you put her on the spot. Yeah, she's pretty good at that. So let's look at not just being put on the spot. Because guess what? I had this picture so that it just showed me. But then when she spoke, she appeared. I thought I picked that. Now Spirit's saying, well, we want you to pay attention, Brenda, because you're going to be doing the show, a special way. I never know how I'm going to do the show. I trust. And I thought, so I pinned it. And then when she spoke again, it didn't work. But then I'm watching her hold her points. And I'm like, ooh, that's her telltale sign that something's not right. And the Spirit says, talk to her. Now, she already knows to some degree that she agreed to be put on the spot to some degree. Okay. And then I'll like, is it because, well, she always felt like she was put on the spot as display. Did you feel like that at the hair shop?
Yep.
Okay. So Spirit was recreating an event. All right. So put on the spot. Ha! Good one, Marie. You want to know what it is? My efforts are unreceived. Good one, Marie. Because you listen to this. That's one reason, besides what we said, because there's always, when you're looking at the kaleidoscope of life, you can see many different variations. It's not one truth, the truth. It is a story. And because you got past lives and genetic lines, it can be multiple. So I see 3 streams of blueprints from the past life. No, sorry, 2 from the past and 1 of the genetic line hooked together. And one of them says that it's about being put on the spot. And 6 and 9. So go back to when you're younger and you'd be at the beauty shop. Did you go down to the barber?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're showing both. So, yeah. Okay. So you.
Right next to each other.
All right. So at 6, was that the barber shop? No, it was a salon. So it was your mom's side. The 9 was dad's. So you have them both. That's why I see both. What would they do? What was on the spot for you?
I really don't remember.
Okay, so your mother just said, well, it's like, oh, well, wait, I got to get this correct. I got to hear it. Did she point out any flaws?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, because she's showing me, she goes, oh, well, just don't do what she does. Now, to see how she's dressing today, and she's trying to give expert advice. Is that why we fit? Oh, wait, hold on. There's another one. No, you got to hear it. It's got to be your words. She said, I almost got it. Wait a minute. Okay, now I'm not at the beauty salon. I am in your house. And she's showing me how she threw you under the bus. Why don't you be more like... Did she compare you?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden she goes, where'd my pretty girl gone? But at the same time, here we go again. She says, I showed up in so many different ways. Well, what's the pattern? Did she have erratic behavior? Meaning, she's in a good mood and all of a sudden something ticked her off. And so you go to approach her and then she'll come at you and you're like, you weren't expecting that. And that was scare you. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now my teeth hurting. Oh my God. Okay, don't get so close. Something about you, sinus, inner crying. She says, I just had so much. This is how you be adult. And then, but you have all this shit that goes inside of you. Oh, look, it's even changing my face. Do I need to morph? See, I'm morphing. She needs to get this. She needs to get this. What do you want her to get? Because she shouldn't have to repeat that. Why is she doing that? Why is she repeating? No. Okay, so shit's happening. What would you teach yourself? What would you tell yourself if you passed or failed? Oh, so if you passed, she would show you one side, and if you failed, she'd show you another?
Very well be.
You may not be aware of that, because that's why I couldn't understand why you said, well, I think something about, are we not doing a show? And I'm like, how did I put it out there? I wasn't doing a show. I've got all this up there. Like, wait, what? I'm like, what do you know? What do you know what I don't know? Do I have to? Is not something not working? More like her brother. Oh. Oh, look at the mouth. Did you see your mouth? Did you what do you mean? What is this? How do you know to respond to that? Ooh. Well, what do you think?
That's interesting.
Yeah, but hey, it's what's also interesting. Hold on, I couldn't hear you. But what's also interesting is that I've seen this pattern twice this morning from other people. So it's part of the group consciousness that's happening. So tell us how you relate to that.
Okay, I just asked her which brother, and my brother that's in spirit. Yeah, I was compared. I can't say compared to him, but
Oh, I'll take what I learned this morning. Maybe that's what it is. Welcome back, Carter. Anyway, Jesus. All right, do we need to? Okay, anyway. Don't make me lose it. Don't know what. She would sidetrack you, but she doesn't want me to tell you this, but she knows I need to tell you this. Mommies love little boys more than they do little girls. Okay, so there's this energy out there that when the woman feels the boy, the man child, there is this different type of feeling of love than you do with the female. And I thought, that's ridiculous. But I actually felt in a completely different energy when I had mine. And so I got it. It's something that it's like in the encoding or something. So did you feel... See, it didn't help that that's the one that was sick?
yes.
Okay. It didn't help that who gets all the attention. So what do you have to do to get the attention? What did you watch and observe and mirror conscious that said, I got to do this to get the attention? Ooh, it affects the choices.
Mm-hmm. All I ever knew was my brother being sick.
Okay, just a second. Marie, don't be sorry. We appreciate you participating. Yeah, that would make sense because you were what age when he passed?
I was exactly 7.5.
So for 7.5 years, that's all she knew. It's the mirror consciousness. This is how you get attention. This is how you communicate with mom. This is how you communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, she just tapped me on the nose. It means... So did you just think that I gave you erratic behavior? Because you hear it in a tone. What filter, they do this for a filter. What filter did you think you heard from me? Was it when we actually got on or before that? Okay, when you didn't hear from me, because I was busy. And then when you heard from me, the reaction that, because they're saying you look through the filter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you don't have to say it out loud. I don't want to feel like I'm throwing you under the bus more. But did you feel that energy of tug of war? Did you take offense? Did you feel like you needed to take it personal? Did you jump to the picture of what you thought it meant, that RTJP?
No, I'm like,
See, you're not even aware of a program that's running.
Right.
But your body did because it gave you an alarm. Oh, must be about right. Because, everything's getting messed up in here. Oh, well, then what is it? Okay, so say what? That's what you do to yourself. So it's like when you're having a relationship with people, you this is how I'm going to relate based on how they react. Instead of holding your power and say, this is who I am. Not hold my power and I have to be the I in the relationship. It is, this is who I am. I'm bringing it to the table. And knowing that if you're out of sync, okay, we're out of sync. Why am I projecting this person to be out of sync with me? Okay. Now we can get caught up in the ego, which will never end. And we'll think, just when we think we get to the end, oh, it's changed again. Oh. But we're not in the trauma and the drama process. Okay. And, oh, what's going on? My eyeball? Please don't change my face. No. Was this a plank thing? Oh, the filter is that she's waiting for me to tank her or thank her. Between tank and thank, we haven't even gotten to this in the pilot class. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thank you, Amy, to I tank you. What the hell did you do, Amy? Okay. It's like putting the blame. It's like whatever. If I'm having a bad day, I get to take it out on you. There's a difference between thanking and tanking. Okay. So you always present yourself as that, here I am. Let's go. Got the day. Got your back. Doing everything that you feel that Amy should be Amy. If it's not warranted or wanted, let's say you're being a happy little Amy, and then somebody comes through your front door and then tanks you. Crushed. This is who I have to become. I don't want to become that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did she do the pattern of no? Towards herself is she lowers her frequency. She makes herself vulnerable so she won't get hurt. Now that's the dad thing. Wait, what? He's hiding. What are you hiding? My behavior. You're hiding your behavior. So however he had behaviors, did you feel that if you were more vulnerable, he'd leave you alone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, your body is like speaking volume. If I ask spirit, we can drive ourselves crazy with this. The whole point of telling this is that apparently you and your mother and everybody had agreed to do this for the show. So thank you very much. But how are we going to tell these people? Stop being an object. Stop being an it. Oh, so you put yourself in the it position. Not understanding your value. Let's shrink the energy. So yours is about, here is the energy. They get to set the tone. I have to only respond. If they're in a good mood, yay. If they're in a bad mood, ooh. Do you see what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
They said, now it's time for you to begin to own yourself. Call your power back from those experiences. Like, when somebody comes in your house and they tank you, notice that your colors will get spilled on the floor. While that's happening, you can look to the floor, start scooping up, oh, I lost some black, I lost some pink, I lost some yellow, and you start putting yourself back together again. And every time you put yourself back together in, your protection bubble of safety, security, and stability begin to fulfill that area that you are meant to have. Okay? You're born to have at least that much a space. Not this. This. Sometimes our bodies will expand because we don't know how to use the energy to expand. Okay, we're important. I have rights. I should be able to have the right to breathe or take up this much space. And this is mine, damn it. So if we can't control certain things on the outside, then we can control certain things on the inside or let go of control. So it's about how we see it. See, everybody's so proud of you, Amy. It helps many of us. So yes, very important. You got a lot of people that are probably sitting there going, oh my God, I feel naked too. Oh, I've been there. Oh shit. And it's not easy talking about spirituality, but it is when you got examples. Now, I can tell you about me. I can share all that, but it's kind of hard when you really need two people to talk. I mean, I've done it. You've seen me send videos in the academy, but it's not the same when you don't, it's when you have somebody else.
Right.
So we definitely appreciate it. Now, all of a sudden the temperature has like changed dramatically. I'm warm.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay. So, we could go on. Oh, 4. There's a lot of fours. We could keep going on. But in this case, what we're going to do is stop. And understand that I'm sorry. Do you really want me to say that? Do you know what it means walk away and lick your wounds?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it means to pout?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Notice how your body is pouting on the inside. We don't see it because remember how we had to read out Bell's palsy? Why the body was talking that way? It was because you have got to hide your emotions so that nobody can use them against you. I want you to notice my face is not as dramatic. See, this side is lower. Well, I was trying to figure out why my face looked like it was melting on that one side. I'm like, what the hell? That's a dramatic change. And then Spirit set it up so that I ended up reading Bell's palsy as somebody needed me to look at somebody's face. And they said that, and all of a sudden, as soon as I was reading it for them, it triggered in me that when I was little, I couldn't show anybody when I was mad or sad or anything because they would use it against me. If I showed that I was happy, I would get that bitch slap out of me. Well, if I'm not happy, you can't be happy. If you're angry, I can't be angry. It's like one person in the household could have one emotion, all the emotions, but nobody else could show the emotion. Okay, and that's what threw me off. Okay, you know what I mean? So that I would sit there and I super suppressed it. All those emotions. And guess where I stored them? In my liver, which then affects my lungs. I was like, when I started to heal that, I'm like, oh, no, keep your hand there. Oh, I'm like, I want to write it down. Where's the camera? Where's the video? Where's the recorder? And I'm trying to figure out where I put everything at the same time, not let ego make me go back to sleep. When ego makes you go back to sleep, if you haven't healed it, you won't have remembered. It's like you're in deep meditation. All of a sudden you get the meaning of life and you're like, yeah, that's it. And you come back out and you're like, shit, I've lost it. And you try to recreate that moment. That's what the ego tries to do. It tries to put you back to sleep. This is, hey, don't look over there. And so that's why I always tell people, if you're really going to do some deep stuff, record it. If you can't do video, then you do audio. Do record it. Witness is what I really call it. You need to write it down. You need to kick that ego to the curb and say, I'm going to rip that metal back, because there is the truth. And if you can heal those wounds, if you can heal those wounds, then you'll be for the better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're going to shift. Say goodbye, Amy. But she's not really going bye because you're going to hear her lovely voice when she reads your emails. So who is first who's first? Hey, my eyes are not that green today. That's weird. I don't have contacts in, so I don't know what color these are. Ronnie. Oh, yay. My neck feels really stiff, Ronnie. It's like I got to use my whole torso to turn. So is this a joint, muscles, nerves? Oh, what is with myself? My bladder meridian is that I have to hear everybody's self-justification of why they have to treat me that way. That sometimes I feel like I'm attacked. And it's better sometimes not to look too soon. So this is a habit. And then, see, now all of a sudden my hormones just shifted, but at the same time, my polarity went up. So I'm going to check you, and I usually check by taking the liver meridian, tap it onto the pineal, and check 1, 2, 2. It should be a 10. Check it in the pituitary. That's an 8. And the hypothalamus, which is the main controller, 0. That's what's going on. This is going off, and your polarity is stuck. And it's like you're invading energies. You can feel it. And your body is like going, I have to live through others. I have to live through others. Why? Because you have a stored pain. What age is a stored pain? 5 years old. Why do I sound like a robot? I have to be robotic. Because if I show up differently, then the pride of other people are going to do what? They're going to get defensive because they're going to say, I'm the good guy, they're the enemy. And you're who do you believe? What do you believe? And it is getting caught between that too. Okay, so until you can heal that, because they said that you're gathering experiences and clicking to familiarity. When you finally get that, you'll begin to know. So right now you start putting things on the shelf. But to correct the polarity, do you want her to do no, hormones first? Now, this, it's important to understand you have to include the hairline and the oh my God points. And these 3 points here, the round part and the flat part. So you can do them all at once, and then it'll all go up to 10. But if you're like, oh, I can almost see it. Okay. So sometimes play with it. Put your hand, touches the hairline, touches the forehead. You can start back here at the hypothalamus, which is like a main circuit. You can take your 3 fingers and touch that, or you can go flat. Okay. And this will start working on the fear. This, the new healing tool, it's not new, but a new one I put up is called fear balancing, which is you are going to hold here and you're going to hold here. And I might have to redo the picture because it's important that I really emphasize the liver meridian. And you're going to hold this and you're going to feel, just kind of feel, because all of a sudden you may feel your head shift a little bit, or you may feel your body shift a little bit, and then you can come up on the round part. Now my hands are on fire right now, okay, but hold them individually. So it could take up to a couple minutes, and then you can do the last one, okay? Now that is one way to help balance the hormones, but because yours goes one step further and the polarity throws off, okay, so normally it's what you do toward yourself. That's how you protect yourself. Do you want her to do this one or this one? That one. So of course they would ask the one they want me to look. Okay, you're going to have to balance your emergency hormone. And I think it's the adrenal one that they want you to do. Let's see. Balance. That should do it. Okay, so you're going to have to understand right here. Okay, this is a very healthy point to touch. So if you can learn, you can do them individually, or you can hold it like this together. But you're going to add, and this is where you're going to have to find your belly button. And you're going to, I think 2 fingers is like an inch. So you can find your belly button. So you're going to go out an inch and then down an inch. And right there would be your adrenal points. Okay. So you can hold it like that and like this. Sometimes you just place your hand like this and your hand like this. But if you feel like you can't do that, then fine, do them individually. And what will happen is that pay attention to how you feel, because this is a very subtle one, or for some, it could be dramatic. And what happens is this starts to reset that particular part of the hormone, which then could actually reset these. Yeah. Would that help start correcting her polarity? Yeah. But she has to pay attention to what you do to yourself. Your body is going to go into the response of trying to save itself. Hope that makes sense. Next one.
I think it does, because she and I were talking yesterday and she did not feel well yesterday.
Aw, that's not good.
Miss Patty.
Miss Patty. Okay. Now all of a sudden my triple warmer is going off, but I need to understand what's going on. That's going, okay. That's going off because of a particular pain. When you were 29, you had to, it's something about your security. And so this is the third chakra. So it's either fear or courage. So if you felt like your security was off with the relationship of owning your voice, being yourself, okay, either way, what it did was it this? Was it this? Have her do that one? Okay, so Miss Patty, I want you to look at the camera. And, okay, see the X? Stare at the X. Now, there you go. And then I'm just trusting. So, and the 11. Yeah. Your brain is not crossing. Your right brain is supposed to communicate with your left, and your left is supposed to communicate with your right. It's supposed to zigzag across and help balance those out. Is it the nadis? No, it is just the brain itself. Any particular part of the brain, it is the pain causes you to do that. So it goes into a homolateral state, meaning my right's going to control my right and my left's going to control my left. So like when you're doing certain jumping jacks, regular jumping jacks when you're growing up as a kid, it actually causes your brain to be this. This is why when you're walking, you can test is if all of a sudden your arms are going. So if your right arm is swinging forward when your right leg swings forward and your left, and if it does that, understand your homolateral. You can literally begin to say, wait a minute. So when I put my left foot forward, I'm going to put my right hand forward, and you're going to deliberately kind of switch and trying to get yourself in. If it feels that uncomfortable, it's because it's been out a long time. You can go to the online medicinewomansolution.weebly, and you can learn about the cross crawl. There are several different ways to do it. You can do an exaggerated march. You can deliberately make sure. Now, I've watched people go, oh, like this. To do no, put your arms up, deliberate. Okay, and when you have this, when you're about ready to cross it, lift up the opposite leg, touch. Now, if you can do elbow, that's great. Okay, if you can't, don't worry. Okay, if you can't do that, then just exaggerated march with your legs. But is this a long time? That should correct it. Now there is a different variation. If you lose, you can tell. If you start practicing, you can tell when that shifts. Then there's another version you can do that you would have to correct it for a long term. We're not going to talk about that right now. Well, so you're investigate way up 29. There was a particular pain. You lost power. Next. Sonia. Now remember. Go ahead.
Spirit has been trying to send me messages in my ears, like singing for a long time through synchronicities with numbers all of the time and auditory hearing anomalies. But I asked what they are and trying to convey out loud as well as in my mind and get nothing. What are they trying to say?
Okay. Energetically, you have shut that down because the outside is louder than spirituality. Now, what's amazing about you is that you can tell when people are in your field. Like if I were to send you energy right now, which is through the mirror, like even just the bobble ones, my goodness. Let me look. Now, I'm not telling you where it's at, but if she comes back and tell me where she feels it, chances are she'll be exactly on the money. Now she's got somebody, you can't see it, but a little Missy up there is doing it too. So pay attention, come back and tell me you think you felt that. Now, what happens is that she's like, Spirit is speaking to me. What do they want to say? And there's a part of you that's closed that down because it's like the outside is too noisy and it can get very overwhelming. Does that throw your polarity off? No. Your body is saying, how do I trust the difference? And so you're learning those little fine lines that you're beginning to understand your identity. when you get the message, do you feel like something throws you off to the point where it's like, oh, I have to go over here, pay attention to the outside? Okay, this is what you need to look at. Oh, I don't know. She said she had to step out, so I have no idea if she's even back. That's a good question. She said I have to duck out for a minute. Oh, she'll watch it later. Law of continuity. Let's look what that is. So we know that her identity has something to do with that. Ooh, there she is. Even during silence. Oh, really? Okay, the law of continuity. Let's find what that is, sweetheart. Purpose and reason are connected to all that surrounds you. Continuity and balance. A thread of strength brings reason and understanding. Spiritual continuity provides us with a lifeline and with safety. How higher and lower selves merge. Ooh. The understanding of two realities are two worlds blend. See, and that's that marriage I'm talking about. But if you heal those things from the past, you'll get your power back so that when you become more your authentic self, which when you heal your stuff, your authentic self starts to appear. Connections are made, linkages are found, and bridges are located within. So they're telling you something to do. Does this have to do this has to do with your purpose. Has to do with something to do with purpose. So are you ready for your purpose? No, because I haven't learned something towards what I do to myself, Okay, so your 5-year-old self is got a lot of anger right now. Yeah, where's that anger? Is it invading? Why, certainly it is. It is gone into the small intestine, and it makes you give up on your expectation because you have to fulfill other people's expectations. And this became a naughty habit. Why'd you use the word naughty? Because it was pain. Did somebody call you naughty? You naughty little girl? Because it is a trigger. I happen to believe I must have shut down before. Yes, it's something to do with naughty. It's about that identity. So it's because you don't want to be called that, accused of that. No, it's when I expand my energy, I'm knocked down a peg or two. When did that happen? At 5, because I was naughty. Okay, so you need to look at how naughty seems to be really affecting you, because it's a love-hate relationship that you're in. So, is this has to do with your man in your life? So now you're waking up a little bit further from the past. Oh, I get it. The love-hate relationship. Oh boy. Okay, so again, he's there. He's there. So is he showing up as very playful, loving, but annoying as F? Okay, this is the part you had to cut out of your life, and had to be because I was a naughty girl. But what they were doing was that they didn't like that particular joy, and they would knock it out of me in some form. Is that true? And if that's the case, then you would have caused suppression. No, towards myself was that I had to make it a habit to super what? You had to bully yourself not to act a certain way. So do you know what a have to is? A guilt. You will be guilt to the point where you have to do something. So was guilt used? And they're saying that you really have got to see how guilt ends up being such a thorn in you that that is what needs to be addressed. Because there's guilt. I have complete guilt, or there is a guilt to control you. And there's a difference between this is my guilt versus how people put guilt onto you. All right. You're going to have to, part of your energetic thing is to look at that. Now, remember, people, you can do a live healing with me, and that's $23. And sometimes it can be more than 6 minutes. Just let you know. And then we can put you back together. So, whoops. Got to get back to the right screen. Okay, who's next?
Lori M.
Lori.
How is my and what do I need to work on?
Lori M. will be right with you. Marie says guilt trips. Yes. Also, did you feel us moving the energy? We don't know if you came back in that time because I was trying to. So basically, Spirit wants you to heal guilt trips. Lori M. Now, what's interesting is every time I want to talk about something, I don't know if it's her signature. She has to be cut off. Now, Lori M., read that again for me, Amy.
How is my energy and what do I need to work on?
See, and that's simple, but yet she doesn't feel like she's heard. See, that we're going to do this again as another example. We're going to push you aside, so pay attention. Has this happened into your life, Lori M.? Because if you want a reading, understand, email it. That way Amy can read it online and you can get answered. Lori M., pay attention to how this is for you. Because energetically, this one, no. This, clarity is good, but the pain does what? Oh, so now I need to look up the word disgrace because there's something about disgrace. Let me find out what that is. Loss of reputation or respect is a result of dishonorable action. So did somebody accuse you? Was it the accusing? Justified why they didn't like your action and they made you feel that you were doing a dishonor, you're like doing it wrong. Or have you had a humiliating experience in front of people? They're saying go back to when you were age 6 because there was a lot of pain that got accumulated and there was a panic that if anybody saw my worth, they would somehow point out that it's worthless. Ooh, okay. And then that's why then in the heart, it says that there's a part of me that just feels like my love is always unreceived. Where is Lori M? Because this is a good one. One of the things you need to do is go to the website, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Look at the healing tool, picking yourself up off the floor. Because literally, you need to go back to when you're little, when all of these things happened. It was interesting because they show me that it was designed by somebody's energy coming in and meant to knock you down so that they could have territorial. I don't understand that, but hopefully you will. And if you're like, oh, I'm in my head right now, I don't see that. Go to the past. Has that ever happened to you? Because they're saying that you need to go back to those ages and you need to start reclaiming your power. Now, you're going to do it through the Purple Heart and the Dancing Violet Flame so that you can clean it up, okay? It's yours. And put it back in your body because it's time to reclaim yourself. And you can go back to those ages and places in your mind and do that. Oh, good, Lori's here. And do that. So anything I've said so far, Lori M., does that ring true? Because, sweetheart, it's time for you to be that beautiful spirit and shine. Okay, so hopefully we can get back. Hopefully she got to hear all this. And I know that darn lag is really bad today. It's like a whole minute behind, not 30 seconds. So
well, it's up a little bit.
Oh, good. Because I'm watching myself and I'm thinking, goodness gracious. If it wasn't for you, Amy, I'd feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh, I remember back in the old days, didn't like that. I had to heal a lot. Oh, gosh. But it's nice that you wanted to be with me here. That helps. Really does. Mm-hmm. So I thank you. She said yes. Okay, so yes, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to learn how to. So when, don't just have to go in the past. Let's say all of a sudden you go to work or wherever you're at and all of a sudden you feel it. I want you to stop. I want you to notice if it's happening right then and there. Your whole body's like jumping inside me. I was like, holy shit. You're going to pull in your power. They can't have it. Doesn't do any good if you just leave it on the floor. I've tripped over people's energies. Yeah, that hurts. So go and clean yourself up. Call yourself back. And at the end of the night, I call myself back. So if I'm Brenda and I'm laying in bed, I'm like, I call all my energies back, all of Brenda Jean Powers, taking it from here and there. And what's interesting is when you get really good at it, you will actually begin to see specific events. Oh, it's like when I talked to my husband and I felt less than. Oh, it's when I went down to the corner store and, I'm just making shit up now. I can't remember. But pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Next.
Okay. That was Lori, correct?
Yes.
Pilly.
What did she say?
She just got back in. She said, I'm back.
Pilly, good timing, my dear. So Pilly was going to get her haircut. Did you ever get that haircut? Because it was so funny. I get on and I trust Spirit to let me see whoever it is I'm supposed to see, because I'd love to see all of you, all my friends and all my fans. I'd like to just, hey, but Spirit says you don't have time for that. So all of a sudden just certain things will appear. And I'm not always on Facebook or anything like this. So one day I was just on, all right, what's the update? What do you want me to know? And then Pilly came on. She says, I'm getting ready to cut my hair. And I'm like, ooh, that's gorgeous. And then Spirit says, so she's asking advice. And Spirit says, well, tell her what we told you. And that was, well, if I'm going to cut it, why waste it? How about if I play with it? And it was, they kept showing me that I like this. And I'm like, I like red. I want black. Who said that? And then the more that I entertain it, so again, I was in line with Spirit, and I'm like, I want to be like my birdie, good old Charlie. Hey, and you know what colors I found, Abe? A toucan. I found an actual toucan that has red and black with a little bit of yellow and all this. And I thought, ooh, I should put yellow here. I could be a toucan birdie.
Ooh.
And but then it's like, not sure. Waiting on my day off. Yeah. So energetically, no, we could address your hair, but I think Spirit already did. How do I play with it? Let me tell you how I did this. Spirit came to me and says, what colors do you want? Like I said, I would have never chose red and black. Out of my husband's mouth, hey, red. And I'm like, is this your way of saying you want? All right. And then all of a sudden, I started to just tune in, and it started to show me. So I says, well, I don't even know how to do it. So I went online, I looked. So I took and I says, this is how much I want. This is how much is really like dead, because it was already bleached. This is all new hair. By the way, this is all new. This is all Aussie hair, not Michigan hair. Just let you know, I've been here that long. That I put a rubber band here, and a rubber band here. When you're doing black, you don't bleach it. But when you're doing color, you bleach it. So I put bleach stuff here, wrap it in that tin foil, put a bleach stuff here, wrapped it in the tin foil, and rinsed it out. Then the next day, because it was so late, we don't have electricity at night here because our power burnt one of the wires. I'll get that fixed. That I'm like, the rubber bands are already there. I said, I'm going to take that. And so I put red on that, put foiled, and then I put black directly on that, put the foiled, and then you put conditioner at the bottom so that if you accidentally get that color on that, it can wash out. And then 40 minutes later, I took everything off, took a shower. Now, if you're not going to use permanent, it'll start fading quickly, especially if you use hot water. See, when I was in the shower, I didn't realize it, but the hot water was hitting the back of my hair, taking out the color. And I said, oh, I'm going to not be red. It'll eventually be pink. Now, if you notice, I have brown in between. Now, I could have took my time, but because I'm a low maintenance girl, I do not like high maintenance. I don't like things to take forever. I could have just put rubber band, bleach, and then reset the rubber bands after I colored it so that it was in the red area. And then I could have just eliminated the brown, but you learn. These are the steps you want, but you can do it. I mean, I sat it through. I let them walk me through it. That when I went and bought my stuff, the lady said the same thing. And I thought, ooh. Yeah, the black, if you're going to play with black, Like over here, they didn't have it. They've been out for actually a couple years. So I bought permanent because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cut it off anyway. When it grows to a certain length, I'll cut it off and then I'll bleach and then I'll cut it off. And eventually, if I like it, I'll keep going. But I was going to cut it anyway. And I don't like short hair. And Spirit says, well, since you don't like short hair and you don't have to go through the ugly phase, why don't you play? And if you don't like it, you can still cut it off. So I played. Enough about that. Pilly. You have eradicated energy inside. It's not yours. It is invading energy from other people that get you like this. Now, Mama says that you become very self-conscious of what's right and what's wrong. And so then you use that eradicated behavior that is the ego that cause you to react and respond, that there's a party that's petrified first and that your safety feels like it's in play. Now, you may not think about it, but they're asking you to address what is erratic behavior. Okay. So now if you look, you will also then start to project out other people that have erratic behavior and how you have to alter yourself for it. That's part of your big homework. And it's like what lofty energy does. This is what lofty energy does. Now, there's a longing in you, a longing that you just want this to stop because you're like, I'm so tired of this. That what you're tired of is, yes, that erratic, but longing. You need to heal out the word longing. That longing causes you to contract your energy. So I long for this. You contract your energy and it keeps everything from coming into the now. Okay, it doesn't come into the now. So you are addressed that you need to heal out how you define erratic behavior, define longing, and then you need to hold R3D because you check out. I want you to feel. So it's right wrist, third position, nice and deep, and feel how you check out. There's actually a checkout process. You sign in and you sign out. I don't have it up on my website, but you need to do peanut butter, which means you need to really disconnect from people. Okay, so let's say Amy's right in front of me, and I've touched Amy, and it's like, how you doing, Amy? Gave her a hug and all this. We've interacted. And then not knowing it, whatever mood she's in, I feel it invading, not knowing it, and then she goes home. Now, if I'm working on a client, you can't help but to interact, okay? But when you're done, you have to separate between the two. I am not Amy. I am not my clients. I need to make sure that I have my energy. Okay. So this is where I call peanut butter. And peanut butter is you take and you rub your hands together, and your intention is that you are going to separate from whoever it is in your space. Even if you haven't touched them and you thought about them, you've touched in the past somewhere. So peanut butter is just, okay, here it is. This is the person. Now you imagine that they're in front of you. And you're going to start at the bottom and you're going to swoop up the aura around them. The aura, see? Now, as you begin to do that, you're going to notice that maybe it may form a small ball. Do not put your hands together. And you're like, ooh, if you've noticed a little longer, you'll be able to feel whether it's gooish or if it's hard or the shape. You get really good at fine tuning. Then you pick your hands up and you spread it like peanut butter in their field because it's their energy. And you do this 3 times. And each time you do it, you're going to feel maybe the ball get bigger, have shape or sound. Okay. Get to the top. You spread it like peanut butter. By the time you've done your 3rd round, scoop, 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 ball, you can even interact and say, would you like to feel your ball? And you imagine that they touch it, but they have to put their hands out. And they can't touch themselves, but they can touch the ball, but they touch their hands out. Then you go, okay, and you spread it like peanut butter and you say, it's yours. And what happens is it creates this. When you're done, finger in the belly button, finger in the forehead, push in and lift up. And you breathe in and out, straightening up that spine, and you're creating an egg around you. You got to get their invading energy out. Okay. Now, Vicki had said, do you do it in pieces or just 1 or 2 rubber bands? Again, I just layered it up. 1, 2, 3 rubber bands. Next time I do it, I don't need to do the black, or do I? I can't see in this light. But now I know exactly where I can do it. And I have these all in individual, like 1, 2.
Yeah, I think that's asking. Did you do it?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so when I did this, and it depends on how it was sitting. See, so I'm like, okay, that hair doesn't match. Okay, so I'm going to have to figure out how this does it. So that means, see right there, do those, and then I clip it up, and I do the next one. And I have to, because see, I have to realign with them. And then once I get them all, so I got all these little turds on my hair. I swear to God, they're all these individual little things. It's not fun when you go to wake up and then all of a sudden it's like, here's a big old knot ball. And you're like, oh my God, what did I do? And the rubber bands are all clinging together. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do that again. Learned my lesson. I hope that answered it. But yeah. All right, who's next? Oh, wait. Pilly says, I can do that even if they have already gone, right? Yeah, they can be dead on the other side. That's how gone they can be. And, it's like before I married this man, he's 10,000 miles apart. And I had worked with him. This is before any interest. And after I forgot to break the energy cord, clean out the entanglement cord that we had created. So there's always an entanglement cord, but the intention of that entanglement cord can get dirty and everything else. So I cleaned it. Okay. That is also a healing tool, cord switching, but I didn't need to do that. I could tell something wasn't right. I kept feeling, I thought, God, I feel like a man. And then Spirit says, well, who did you work with today? Okay. So I did my peanut butter, separated that because I forgot, because you need to do it after every client. But because he wasn't here, in my mind, I'm like, no. And so as soon as I did it, I went back, and then you have to reclaim yourself. Okay, that's the other part. You say, I'm Pilly, or however you would use your real name. For me, it'd be, I'm Brenda Jean Power, I'm Brenda Jean Power, I'm Brenda Jean Power. And I feel myself owning it, that it goes up and down the chakra tube. And then I can feel it going in and out of my chakras. This is me. There we go. Now, Miss Aim.
Star Olson.
Who? Star?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Star. What? Okay, well, what'd she say?
That you have read her before. She wants a 1 minute, and you had helped her through past life blocks and also energy blocks.
Okay. So what we're going to do. They're giving me a time. They said between 9 and 11 seems to be what your body says. I have an issue with my circadian rhythms between 9 and 11. And I say AM, they go both. AM and PM. So what happens between 9 and 11? Let me get it here. AM is your spleen. And so then 9 and 11 PM is your triple warmer. If you look at if you can look at medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, look at the HORAY, Hora jet lag chart, you can see the times. They are normally opposite each other, but they work in tandem with each other. So in this case, it said 9 and 11. And I said, well, what's going on? They go up to the triple warmer first, and they say it's the nighttime one, that something becomes very muddled. And it is the word, it's a strong word. Oh, it's really messed up my body. Hatred. No, is it one of those things where you go, I hate that? No. It is when you can feel that from others? No, it's what you have to do to yourself. I hate myself? Sort of. Hold on. I hate that feeling. I hate when I do that. I hate when I'm... So you're throwing a resonant energy of hate towards yourself, a resonant broadcast, like I'm broadcasting if I went to a bar and I'm there to just to have beer instead of picking up guys, it'd be broadcast off me. Fuck off, guys. I'm only here for a particular. Don't even think about it. You know what I mean? That's my broadcast message. Now, if I forget to put my broadcast message away and I go to a bar and I'm like wanting to, to be looked at, let's say me and my husband go out and my husband's not paying attention to me. My broadcast message could be saying to him, don't look at me. Don't you look at me. Mm-mm. It's the opposite, Amy. Look at me. It's the opposite. Okay. And so it's like, why isn't he looking at me? Well, if you have a broadcast message that's strangely loud, Amy's laughing and try not to look at her. Okay. Strangely loud like that, then you have to look. What have you said to yourself? It's the 41 thoughts per minute. And it's usually the things that, like for instance, okay, I'm going to see if I can do this to myself. What do I mean by this is I'm going to look and not like some feature of my face. Okay. And the energy that I'm putting out that I don't like about myself will actually begin to change my features. How do you want to know this? Have you ever seen eyes and all of a sudden they're like, turn angry? Face doesn't have to change, but it's the intrinsic little muscles that cause you to go, something's not right. And this is part of what your intuition does. It picks it up. But if can you tell on my face which part I don't like? And if you have guessed it right, it's right here. If you took my profile and put it in the half, you would see that it is completely, strangely enough, totally freaking freaked out. Okay. But I don't need that. I don't need me to put my energy on that. I want you to see my soul. I want you to see the love. I want you to see my authentic self. I don't need you to see my ego. That's a good picture of me. Ego. Do you understand? You don't need to see that. Why do people look at your flaws? Because you are pointing them out inside with a broadcast message. Okay. That's what they're saying. So you need to become aware. This is where you take a refrigerator magnet. I don't have my refrigerator magnet. Now, somebody asked me last week, what kind of magnets are those? Well, they move and they are, so they move in tandem. It's called the Mag Boy, and mine broke, but this is my Mag Boy. Okay. And they roll. Now, a refrigerator magnet, no big deal. You can use that. It doesn't have to be that strong, but you're going to do, the reason you need to do this to 10 times is because I want you to get into the feeling of how you don't like certain parts of yourself. So I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus how much I don't like that. Oh my God, my brain rejected. Oh my God. Oh, so it's like self-broadcast. Oh, see, and it's important for you to find a particular emotion. In this case, it is for you, it'd be, see, for me, it would be ego deficient. So I feel like I'm deficient. My face isn't perfect. What would be her word? You're obsessing an impending doom. Is that her broadcast? Oh, well, good Lord. So you're going to do self-broadcast of impending doom and obsession. Impending doom and obsession, or obsession and impending doom, but self-broadcasting, impending doom. And see, and I give you the different variations, but use those particular 4 words. And you roll. Oh, and you're like, well, I don't have a refrigerator magnet. You got this hand called electromagnetic. It's already your magnet. And you can do this 10 times. You can start in the forehead, go all the way to the back 10 times. Okay. And feel it. Understand your story. And watch yourself pull it out of your aura. All right. Who's next?
Betty.
Now, if any of you are new here, understand you can get one of these inner type reading with the healing tool, or you can come on and pay $23 and you get more than 6 minutes and you can come into the room and you really can get a particular healing. Now, Betty, was there anything specific?
Just general.
Just general. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, okay, I'm swallowing funny. I am grinding. There's something to do with my back jaw. I got to bite my tongue. So it's about self-correcting my behavior. Okay. And she's trying, okay, so spiritually, she's doing her best to, she sees this, she saw that, and she's learning to say, okay, I'm stopping this behavior, I'm moving forward. What it's doing is, okay, so is her polarity good? No, so let me just check. Good. Let me check this. Aha. So do me a favor, Miss Betty. I want you to stare at this. Okay. Now not only is your polarity off, but so is the brain not crossing. Does she need water? Does she need a certain vitamin, mineral? She needs to stop addressing herself because you do self-punishment. Okay, so this is part of that heart in yourself. What would you like her to do? Because her body is saying it's going to keep doing this because it is it's trying to cope with your behavior. So you're trying to cope with your behavior. Then what? Oh, so this is where it gets confusing, because when you were younger, you would look at how praise, what is that? Reward and praise? No, praise and punishment. Oh, good Lord, I know how that goes. Reward and punishment. There we go. So you used to know that if you did good, bad, or wrong. But the hard part is you had to raise yourself among the family. Sorry, I don't mean to cut in, your mom down or everybody, but it's not about that. It's not about blame. It's about how you chose as a child to say, I am not that, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. Okay. And so is this a knot? You need to address the knot. Ooh, this is hooked into your knot, Betty. Okay. So you want her to get rid of the knot? No, she's supposed to become aware of the knot and what it does to her. Is it the self-limitation? She too has a broadcast message. Okay, so if you hopefully were just watching, you saw how I did my broadcast message, and you need to roll yours out. So does this broadcast message control the homolateral and the polarity? Gotcha. So it's self-broadcast habit. So you're going to say self-broadcast habit. Bad. I'm bad. So the word's infamy. And so you can use the word infamy or bad, however you choose, the language you choose. Understand, you have written yourself that when you don't do it according to your standard, then I'm bad. But how do you measure that standard is what deep down you're going to really address. What do I mean by that? Somebody came to me and I had asked, I think it was just $40 for a session. And they're like, even though they got everything out of it and they were just amazed, they did not think it was worth paying $40 for. And I said, and so I did an association game with them. And what it boiled down to is, what did they associate me with? They valued a piece of pizza. I'm not going to pay more than $2 for that piece of pizza. And so they didn't realize they were using a value system like that. And I says, but you don't see what you're getting? I says, the difference here is you just don't get to eat it. So you have to find a different value system for this. And so it is what you did. It was that, okay, here's my standards. If I can live up to it or not live up to it, so you're looking at it in that fashion. So it's like, it's really fine line. I don't know how to tell you this except for when you begin to experience it. And you're going to have to learn to change some of those standards, because the age that you're doing it is your 4-year-old self. And they would rather have punished themselves because you weren't. So did your parents discipline you appropriately, or did they not step up and discipline you? Or they just projected their shit, tanked you and all that? There's a party that just felt like, I can raise myself so much better than you guys are raising me. Again, I'm sorry if anybody else is listening. She's family, people. That you're petrified that you're going to grow up to be just like them. Oh, hell no, I'm not going to be that. You have another knot in there. So much, yes. Okay. Oh, you got a big one. It looks like you can't do it, but you have, because if I look, you have these 3 variables that would control this, but you've got all of these other choices that you've already said that you can do. And it's nice because I see that you have solved it. Right there. I see that you have solved it right there. So that means you're getting closer. You're learning how to rearrange the kaleidoscope to the point where they line up, and then you'll get it resolved. Oh, you're doing good, Betty. And so how would I say that she needs to address that? She needs to roll out, like I said. And I don't remember what the words were. I know that I said, about being bad. Is there any other word with it? No. How many broadcasts has she got? Just the one right now that changed the osculation. Gotcha. Really? Okay. Just the vortex or all of it? How many? 2? Okay, so you need to do the vortex game. Balancing your vortex. If you got a pendulum, you can try to find and locate your vortexes, or you can literally go in and can we find these vortexes? Oh. Okay. The reason you can't is because when you start to move the kaleidoscope just right and you change the variables, you will then see what you're supposed to do. But in the meantime, you're just going to connect in with spirit. Know that we have vortexes that come off, spin off of us in every direction. It's not just the chakras, but we have personal ones. You got 2 that go beyond our aura and go out and collect. They're vacuum cleaners. The problem is they're not cleaning up shit. They're collecting shit to prove that what I have to do to myself, I got to constantly, continuously do. Until you get to that next level, you need to imagine that you see them and see where they're at, and you need to breathe them back in and balance them within your aura, which usually you can measure it by the tip of your hand. I can't do it all the way, but your aura can go out, but your vortexes don't need to go out so far because they're not bringing back good experiences. They're bringing bad experiences, so you can stay within that hellhole type thing. Good. I can see so much of the pulse now. Yeah, you're getting there. I mean, you're almost there. Yeah, she's one of my students, and I'm so proud of you guys. I just love all you guys. Okay, next. Antoinette, the beautiful.
She says, I have a question, if it's all right. If so, I'd like to know if my son will ever find out who truly stole his money and realize it wasn't me. Please, this has really been bothering me a lot, and to think that my son could think that I would do something like that to him.
Okay. What I'm going to tell you on this, energetically, why that had to happen to you is very important. It's a cross between somehow your souls both have crossed each other's past in a past life, at least 3 times. The subject is what you always did to yourself. What you did to yourself was that you would panic. You've been storing this panic because your great love has placed judgment on you, and you can feel this crushedness because you've done everything as far as, okay, let me justify, let me explain, and you're trying to find the answer, and you're being accused of something, and it just keeps coming back. Now, this can be very chaotic, especially in ego land. So let's look at this. What is the ego lesson that if she were to heal this, where do you want to go? What? It has developed an anxiety that this is your third time around on this particular thing with him. In this life, there's something to do with, okay. So when he first saw you, okay, so something happened when he was 1 year old and you did something that was normal, but you didn't like something toward yourself. You kind of blamed yourself. Like, for instance, I'm not a good mom. You know how we all do that. It's like, oh, I fucked up. There's something I've done wrong. Okay, what's that? What is that? Annoying self-talk, isn't it, Amy? That it's like we bash ourselves for not being a good mother. Somehow we've judged ourselves or something compared to some other mother. Yes? Yeah, she's nodding her head. But kids pick up this stuff. But I also feel like there's something happened. I don't know what age 12's got to do with it. I feel another person present. Somebody on the other side is stepping forward and they're not quite making themselves known. What I do feel is that they haven't been really kind, because based on your pattern that you need to accuse yourself, you got to blame yourself because you're going through that. It kind of invites the door open so other people could do that to you too. So have you had anybody in your space say and do shit like that? Because they're saying a live meditation is being awake and noticing that certain patterns are repeating themselves within the matrix. Okay? Oh, I'm on my stomach. Hold on. Oh my God. What's this about? Stored emotions towards myself? What is, God bless it. What is this, broadcast day? You also have a resonating broadcast towards yourself, and therefore is going to be a filter. Now, what happens is other people are going to read that. So he can't change the way he sees it yet until you begin to broadcast differently. Okay. You're going to get your refrigerator magnet or use your hand, however it is. We're going to look at, and you're going to write down self-broadcast. I'm going to roll it out 10 times, but you got to get into the knowing it and the feeling. Self-abuse. Lack of control. And I haven't introduced this to the class yet, but.
Oh, she's working right along with you.
Well, good. At least awesome. There is some connection. Good. She feels it. Okay. So I was going to teach this to the class, but they're going to bring it up now. Everyone. So it's called grouping. It's an engram. So everything equals everything. So notice that this is everyone. So if you use the word always, everyone, every time, never, what happens is these is the way that we think, and it's the way that they will repeat themselves. It keeps the limbic system, that part of your brain, very active, and it makes it an absolute. And what happens in the absolute is that my cup's full. You can't put any more in because this is the shit I know. Okay. And you have to break. No, I don't want to break that cup. I love my cup. You have to change that language. And so that's what you're doing with the words. You have to put the word along with what I told you to write down is the word everyone. Okay. So you have a broadcast message. Yeah. Can't remember the words I just used. Now, no. So you're going to take what I said, write those down, and then you're going to take and you're just going to roll it out. That's what I mean by rolling it out is we take it out of the governing meridian, and you're going to say those words and do this. You can do it nice and slow to try to fit in all the words. Don't worry. You can mess up the words. And the trick is if you begin to mess up the words and can't remember the words, keep going because that's part of how you know you're pulling it out. And you're going to keep going. And even if you have to go longer than 10 because you're like, everyone, I can't remember what I just thinking. Oh, get started again. Doesn't matter. Rebalance, redo it, get it out. Now, if you start yawning, really? You're gonna do that to me? Okay, when you start yawning, you're moving energy. It's a good thing. Did I start a chain reaction? Anybody else yawning with me?
Yep.
Okay, who's next?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Robin. Go ahead. Sorry, what?
Amy Ray.
Amy Ray. Ooh. wonder if it's an Amy Ray I know. Don't know.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Oh, okay, good. Amy Ray. Okay. Amy Ray. Amy Ray. Who? You? Others? Oh. It must be. Okay, it has got to be in the air, Miss Ames. My aim. The other Ames. Ames, ready? Okay, y'all gonna aim for your truth. That's what you're gonna do. You have a resonating broadcast too. And that is you have eradicated behavior. It's like, you have to feel this eradicated behavior so that you know you're going to hate. Don't even say that. So I can get my way. Oh, I hate that when I have to tell people that. Do you have eradicated behavior? Because when you learned this was at 4 years old, you're like, but I got to get my way. I'm not being heard. But anyway, it's like, so your energy was just get eradicated so it gets people's attention. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So you too are going to get your refrigerator magnet or your hand, and you're going to go 10 times as well. You're going to say self-broadcasting, erratic behavior. Any more? And you're going to do that. But this one is, again, notice, pay attention to, I know that funny feeling inside of me because it messes with your digestive system and it messes with your relationships to people. So if you see people kind of leave you and you're not sure why, it's because I think it's that broadcast. So let's get that out of your system. Notice that the behavior, when you start to take this out, you can go, do I really need to be erratic behavior? And learn what it is and then clear it out. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Next.
Miss Vicky?
Vicky. Dun, dun, dun.
What her broadcast message is.
I don't know, but I hear angels, trumpets, dun, 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 bonanza. Oh, we got a bonanza tune again? You're talking about going back, way back to the back. So what are we talking about? Why are you guys even here? So it's like a Western. So is your movie like a Western all of a sudden? What's this about? So you have a particular habit that's repeating itself, jumping in your face, being the raw resonating broadcast. Oh, it's how you trained yourself to see spirit. Yes. I got to get my attention. Oh, you're upgrading. Ooh, that means your signs are ready to be upgraded because you're moving from 3D to 5D and you're going to start getting, you're building a new file system. The thing is that you're trying to, oh, my head just spun. The new you is emerging. The new you is coming forward. That it is, you can't look through ego as much anymore. As far as this is the way it's got to be, this is the way it is, the old way. So what you do towards yourself, is it like the Russian roulette? No, why do we got Anza? It's a shootout. It's a shootout. What do I need to know about it? You have one that's a sheriff. You got all these deputies, and then you have the criminals, which are your bad behaviors. You can tell whether you're in or out of alignment. Gotcha. So you do. So with the police, what is it? Self-policing? No. Sorry. Say it again. My pain that I'm trying to get to and avoid at the same time is when I was 29. And at 29, there seemed to be a lot of karmic issue. Payback, baby. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, okay, so you're at I'm going to completely say it wrong, but I got to say it just so I get a last something at the OK Corral, the last something. So is this like a dueling at no? Why are you showing me that? They're showing me Back to the Future of when he was playing like he was Clint Eastwood to the bad guy. Why are you showing me this? Because the resonant energy is that I have to be awkward. You have pictures. So whatever happened at 29, you still have attention. You don't realize you're doing the attention. There's particular pictures. This is what they want you to upgrade. And they said that it's a standoff between who you are and then who you were. So can she just do eye accessing? No. Cord switching? No. Remove the resonant energy. So is there a broadcast? No. How many? I have to fight to not be the it. So I need to be strong. So the encoding of what it means to be a woman that has to fight back. Oh, husband cheated at 29. Yeah. So you have to become the I to handle the situation. You have to be, so it's so you don't lose yourself. So you end up putting on like a bulletproof. That's why they're showing me Michael J. Fox having the metal. So do you have a heart? No. I need to protect myself. And I contract my energy in. Because my pride was hurt. Okay, but the pictures, going back to the pictures of the pride. Pride of what? Okay, so did you not want to be alone at that age? Did you feel that you failed if you were alone at that age? And it was the feeling that caused you to allow you to continue with that husband. They're saying, notice that the emotionally repressed a lot of that. You created a disconnect between that. And what happens is that you convinced yourself that I'm a good person, I'm not the enemy. But somehow you were convinced that it was in the convince. He did the convincing. Was he good at sleight of hand, sleight of mouth? Was he good at that? Was he good at it? Because your part in you is waking up and going, so like for instance, when you don't understand the pattern, okay, when you begin to. So if this person is so used to, and I'm not talking about you, I'm just giving an example, how they stay in I, the importance of the I, in this particular dysfunctional family, they will always say, well, you better make sure you put that person back in line. Okay. And then if how they're doing it to that person and are trying to teach you that this is what you're supposed to do to that person. And when you don't do what they want, they're going to do the same to you. So once you begin to learn that pattern of how they do it. Oh, there's my little toucan. And then you learn to use the pattern, you'll be waking up to you're looking at the pattern. You're starting to notice the pattern. That's good. That's very good. It's just that you don't use your signs from spirit. They want you to just wait and just allow yourself to break free from that because you're using the signs from spirit, it actually stops you from seeing something. So you're going to start using more of your spiritual self to start seeing how people do patterns. Like if I know that somebody is going to trash talk, and if they come to me and they trash talk, about all their friends, damn well they're going to turn around and do it behind your back. You can choose whether you want to be a friend or not. Or when they're talking about your friend and they're trash talking about your friend and you look at them and they're your friend too, do you have to agree with them? Or do you find it within yourself? So, hey, you know what? That's our friend too. I don't believe the same way. Can you stand up? Can you do things? There's a part of you that has to, and again, it is looking at this pattern. So they keep telling me that you went blind at 29. This is a big one. Because not only do you have blueprints, you've got, how many of them in the hell do I see now? 23. And they look like crystals that have the prisms through it. So as they come in, I see 23 of them. So they look like a diamond. So they have these little facets, and each one of them has their own kaleidoscope. Okay. And they said, you've done this 23 times. And if I say it's a mixture, and they said yes, at least 21 with soul, and 2 of them you've been doing this with the same soul. So that's the thing. Heal the fact that you think you struggle with it. You have to empty the cup of how you know things. Like when I have people that come to me and they've been doing this spiritual shit for a long time, it's like, okay, you come to me. Yes, you want me to help you. Yes, I said you have to stop what you already know, because what you already know, you're judging it and you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. You literally have to become a clean slate and just say, what do I need to know? And then little things will start sticking out like sore thumbs, and you can put them on the shelf. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get that epiphany. And you're going to go, oh, because before you couldn't, because you're like, oh, I got to look at this way. I got to look at that. No, be a clean slate. Dump what you know. Allow spirit to communicate with you in a new way. And then your cup can be full again. And you can actually realize this cup can be refilled. So it's not half full or half empty. It's refillable. So it is, when you say you struggle. So I would tell you to do L2S, because there's a part of you that believes it's a struggle. And they're saying that the struggle feeling came with when you were 27 and then 29. And you believed in the struggle because, hey, it was a freaking experience and it was real. They're saying you can heal that out. All right. Anybody else?
Miss Danny, she's still in class, but.
Okay. That's fine. Miss Danny. She's getting better. She's getting better. I am looking at. Okay. So what's happening is that she's got this protective bubble around her head. And then she's got another bubble for the body, which is separate. So there's a disconnect. And I asked, can we connect them? They go, no, not at this time, because we have to take the thing that's dislodging it out. I said, okay. I said, all right, then what do we do now? And they said, well, because the vibration's like this, not a healthy vibration. It's just that these are my nerves. Okay. And that's what the brain's doing until we can get the brain to cooperate. Okay, we can't really do much about that. But how do we get the brain to cooperate? And that is noticing the language that you label, and you group everything all together. Well, he's an asshole, and then you put that into your file system. You're like, okay, the asshole. Yeah, I have an asshole here that's a good guy. I have an asshole here that's a bad guy. And then I have an asshole. These assholes, well, they all did something different. My asshole file is getting big. Instead of realizing that you used one word to define somebody that betrayed you, somebody that just kind of broke your heart, can't trust, but you grouped them. So you have to become aware of your language. And that means you have to start deciphering your emotions, not just say, oh, this is the one emotion. And I asked, are you doing just one emotion? And they said, it's about protecting yourself, because again, for you, the mental stability, the emotional stability is erratic. Now, I got the cards out for a particular reason. What do they say? It's about a father's love. And I ask, did it at one point, did it die? Yes. And that is what you don't ever want it to happen again. But at the same time, you can feel your body going to your father, and you have no idea that how many programs you got running. You got 4 programs that are running. That means there's 4 equally strong events in your life. One was at 1 month old. The other one was at 3 years old, and the other one at what? And at 3 years old, you did something to yourself. You ready to heal that? No. Okay. And then the other one was at, it's lumped. This is lumped? It's all my fault. Okay, so you have, the lumped means it's like, it's like taking all these genres, different movies, throwing them together and trying to make a good best-selling movie. And yet it's like worse than a B movie. It can't even be graded a Z movie because there's a highlight. Oh, no, now it's faded again. You have too many things jammed together that it cannot make a good flowing story. I know that sounds crazy, but they said if you take it one at a time and realize that how you label and group, start separating it. And they said you can take that list, and in class there was a list of emotions. And I feel like that's what I wanted to teach tomorrow, was that how to take and begin to define that. But we have to teach you how to use the pendulum or the muscle testing. But it's some type of habit, and you have to become aware that this is flippant talk. It's just a flippant talk. And, and you're trying, and there's nothing wrong with the talking, but what it does is it keeps you from cleaning up the trash. It's like when you do all this hoarding in your house, you don't really need the newspapers, okay? Or you really don't need these, but you find purposes for them. So with the file system, you're hoarding. We need to clean it, organize it, if that makes any sense. But it has to do with the Father's love. Okay. Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay. So again, before we go, just make sure if you do have something you want to ask, you go ahead and you write it here. And if you, I'm going to tell you that because of the viruses, depending on where you're at the world, what's going on, there's a lot of negativity and a lot of things that are weird. I'm going to highly suggest to you that you begin to do the 4 thumps at least 2 or 3 times a day, if not more, so that your body does not have to get caught up into the wave, morph into that, get stuck into a belief system. Oh my God, you need to train your body that it can become a well-preserved, and you understand you have different layers of you. And when you're Wi-Chi, which is the spiritual protection part of you that actually can keep you safe from a lot of health, a lot of physical issues, needs to be taken care of and loved. Then you have another shield, and you need to start healing from the inside out. So what you really need to do is the 4 thumbs. Okay? So right there on top of the cheekbones, you're just going to do this. Now, if you're laying in bed like I am, you don't want to disturb your husband, rub them. But good 30 times. And then you have the bone. And then the peak of the bone slides. Or, like I said, rub them. Some people may feel like you have to cross. That's fine. And then the thymus. Now, I do this one like this. I like a knock on the door. It goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You got to get behind that breastbone. And I do 3 sets of 3. Oh, this is the fun one. Okay, so it is down. It's right where your bra line is, but you come forward. Okay. Now, you can tap them. Get in there, because this is a very, 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 very important spleen point to help you balance. If you're starting to feel sick, do the 4 thumbs. If you're starting to have worry that maybe my energies are off, do the 4 thumbs. Okay, you can wiggle it, jiggle it, whatever you want to do. But it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I usually throw in the extra measure as a belly button in the forehead, and I push in and lift up. And I get the air to move so that the oxygen can help balance it. That's what I would tell you to do. Now, is there anybody else? How are things coming along? Is it all almost over? Oh, that's Marianne. Marianne, you still there? I see Trina was on. Marianne. Trina, did we do Marianne? She said she sent an email.
Yes.
Did I do Marianne?
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
Marianne, are you still there, sweetheart? Hopefully you're still there. Okay, what?
She was wondering what is around her and her kids now.
Now? What was the last word?
Her and her kids now.
Now, okay. Marianne, what are you talking about? Is there something energy? Tell me more. Okay, good. She's there. Let's chit chat for a second. So how do you know what kind of energies? Because we can do many things with this one. But it looks like you're trying to address something, Marianne. Is it good, bad? What's going on? Because all of a sudden my stomach, my third chakra, for one, is that it's going into a fear thing, which then is now causing all my energy of my legs to go numb. It's really strange. So I'll wait for her to respond back. All right, just double checking. And anybody else that did that, if you haven't emailed in, this is your chance right now to say something, and I'll give you a reading. She says we're going through a court battle. Okay, yes. Oh, that's what that is. Ooh, okay. Do I need to be that involved? Apparently so. Okay. You don't believe in yourself. There's something you're not believing. And she says, is it almost over? Yes. Oh, yes, it is. But there's something about you're not believing. It's what you're believing, how you're believing. Okay, does she have to think negative the positive comes out? Oh, that energy is throwing everything off. Yes. So have you ever done that where you're like, you want the outcome to be in your favor, but you've had a lot of experiences and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of waiting. Yeah, it's not going to work out. Preparing yourself for the worst. And it is really strong. And I'm going to ask Spirit, is that court date and stuff, is it just about over? Is it over? Is it almost over? What do you want? Is it almost over? Oh, shit bricks. Well, that is interesting. I've got cards that are, do you want me to take any of these cards here? Would this be a no? It's up to you. Let's go. Then go shush up. Put those back. Okay. When I said, is it almost over? And it says it's up to you. So there's something about how you see it. And so therefore it was a no because it's an upside down yes. So then I said, okay, what is it? Do you want these cards? All right, we're going to try these cards. They said that there's something inside of you that you got to address so that the energy cord will change in your favor. All right, so what in the world are you talking about? So are you able to ask and get support from others? I feel like you're left alone. And there's a part of you that feels that there's not, it's not the right time. There's something about out of alignment with something. So do you want me to... So toward yourself, you have an action of, I have to stay self-centered. Do I have to stay centered? No, I have to stay self-centered. So you have to be an ego. I have to be an ego to hold myself. Okay, that's understandable. Because I don't know what to do with the stability. And I have way too self-loathing. I have so much loathing. So do you loathe what's going on? Okay. Yeah, she says, how can I change them? Okay, do you loathe what's going on? Because they're saying that, because it's not a self-loathing, but it's a loathing, as if I'm loathing what's happening. And what do you want? To herself, that person. the situation. What do you want to do? Do you want to balance the? I don't understand the word. Try it again.
Yes, what their dad did to my daughter.
Yeah. Today is a dating. So do you want her to serve? What are you trying to say? Grab another card. Okay. Yeah, you can't let the synchronicities come back, and you can't give what you don't have, and you can't. So there's something. So do you want something? No, because you've got to have this. Oh, okay. Well, what do you want me to tell her? What can? Because I know she can resolve to evolve. It is the stability that's messing with it. It creates the insecurity. So you check out because he's not going to pay. Okay. So do you have a would the justice, how do you know that he actually paid for it? Some people, when they hear it's only a year or two, that's not justice. Some people hear for the rest of their life, they say that's not justice. One thing I can tell you is that if they die, then that's an escape. They don't have to pay for their sins here. So you don't want the person to die. And if you are wishing something bad to somebody, you understand karma will come back. So we want to avoid that. If they did it, then you have to look at yourself, because that feeling of, oh my God, they're going to get away with it. That is what is causing the pain. It's like if I yearn for something, then I'll never get it because I'm yearning. But if you're holding in that, oh man, understand we got to get that to come to pass. Now, I'm not asking for forgiveness, you to forgive him. I'm not asking any of that. What I'm asking, or what they're asking, is notice how much you are so focused on something. Okay? Oh, okay. We'll ask that. Okay. Will my kids be forced to see him again? That can be a little, okay. So, oh, wow. You've got like 42 different variations. 12 of those are very standard. That means they're tied to the past. Those variables are not going to change. The others are fueled around negative emotions, which then come to be lined up as part of your past. So again, anything that you haven't resolved will come in your face. So will he? And these here can change based on what you do with your inner world. But if you did nothing to your inner world, to answer that question, will my kids be forced to see him again? Then it's in the yes and no position. The card is a no, but it's in reverse. That means if you don't heal anything, hold on, Amy. I got to get it up. Amy's got, you need to redo more enlightenment in order to get it to be in your favor. Okay. Again, okay, so let's say you decide to heal the pain. Is it the yearning, the pain? Oops, it's dropping that pendulum. It's dropping something? No. God, it goes back to oh God, now my intestines are going nuts. What's this going back to? You're making my head sloppy. The pain that he caused. Does she need to release the pain that he caused? Okay, so, okay. The pain that he caused, is it the actual pain or the pictures? Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you. There's what happened, and then there's a speculation of what happened. Okay? There's all these pictures that we conjure up about what could happen, what did happen, and it doesn't mean that it's actually come to pass, but you, in your mind, that's your truth, that's what you know, that's what it, and it's actually robbing you of energy. This is why the strange part is that it hasn't answered yet, because you haven't come into alignment. It's like when I know two of my students, I says, you're supposed to have them in class? Yes, no. And I'm like, so I didn't invite them. And then when the alignment happened on their end, it finally came in as a yes, but that was already way after fact. So then they got to come in. So what they're saying is that it's about alignment on both sides of the parties. But in this case, you've got you have four parties, and they haven't come in alignment yet. So I can't directly say, because you have your cord that goes out about what you need to heal. Because again, your inner world creates an outer world. Bittersweet. Ew. See, I know you need to address this, but it's the only way you know how to stay strong at this point. So I will not take away how you've had to protect yourself for years. When you're ready and you're done with that feeling, you will be able to heal out that feeling. But notice how there's not an amount of justice in your eyes for that. It is, I hate to say this, but because of the pain of this, he will be the sun that you evolve around. You can't get your mind off it. You can't you can't heal away from it, because it's like a tractor beam. That's what emotions do. And I'm telling you, if we took charge of these emotions and we were to heal out those emotions, it doesn't mean people get away with it. It doesn't mean that, you have to forgive. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you're taking the emotion out, and it no longer owns you, controls you, and says, look at me, I'm going to be in charge of you. It doesn't do that anymore. It doesn't have that power to have, you get to have your power come back, because right now your power is out here. And it's hooked into all those pictures. It's not protecting you. Ego's trying to tell you it's protecting you. It's not protecting you. You literally need to dissolve the chemical peptide. And the main one they said that you need to dissolve is that it's about guilt. It's about unfair. And it's about unrequited love. What the hell? You're not receiving that love. You're like, there's a part of you that thinks, I love this way. Why don't people love this way? Okay, so it gets very much, okay? I wish I could give you a stronger answer, but you got way too many choices. Things are getting in line. And I can say, yeah, it's just about over, but there are things that other souls have not aligned up to yet. Amy says she wants to read something.
Okay, the bittersweet part. It hit a note in me. There's an inner strength here, helping you to rise above the circumstances and to do the right thing. It is time to set aside your personal agenda for the good of the group. The person you are becoming is capable of more than you can imagine.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you, that's one way ego says it. But if you were to heal the emotional chemical peptides that is locking you in, you could actually get to not having to feel like you have to do the bittersweet. But it would create a great resolution within you, because you're releasing the chemical peptide, and it doesn't have to own your brain. It doesn't have to own your emotions. And you literally get to have spirit come into your favor. Sometimes bullshit has to happen for a big pattern to stop. I had this woman that was in my life for 6 years that did everything she could to get everybody to hate me, ruin my reputation, everything she possibly could. And I says, I can't do this anymore, Spirit. Why is she here? Now, this is before I had a lot of my tools. And so I said, I give it to God, and I give it to God. grace and ease. And so I gave it to God, and I just said, that's it. So every emotion of that, I would give it to God. And I learned, that's how I learned how to do cord switching. And as I began to do this, Spirit says, everything's going to be okay. And I'm like, shit, I know what that means. Okay. Before I've learned to let go of my ego. And sure enough, they did something so cruel to me that I look like the bad guy. But how they got kicked out of my life was brilliant. They did it to themselves. That I just got up, and what didn't stick fell away, and what wasn't mine disappeared. And I didn't have to believe their fake truth. But sometimes we have to, like I say, when we have to remodel a kitchen, you got to take out the old cupboards where you can put the new ones in, because you don't want your space to become smaller. You want it to be more wider. It's yours. Okay, good. Marianne says, I'm doing a lot to change. Now, if you really want to do something else, I'm going to give you one more thing, Marianne. Does that have to do with what? Failed love. You had a lot of dreams with this person. A lot of future. A lot of hopes. My ex took me to court, and it was all his lies, like you just said. Yeah, okay. We have to let those future things that you had, your heart is breaking. We need to close that. You got to close that chapter. And I'm going to tell you, if you were to take your left hand, place your first finger here, and then say, first position. Put your thumb there. Put your finger in the middle of your palm, wrap them around, and then take your thumb and push in deep. You're going to be working on your heart. You're going to take and you're going to place it like this, covering your forehead, and you're going to sit there and you're going to feel whatever bubbles up about this whole court thing, whatever bubbles up about the future that is not there anymore. Bubble up of anything and all things, and just keep your hand there and put it on the scale from 0 to 10. I don't know. This one feels like a 10 billion, but just allow your heart to begin to heal. Now, don't think any positive thoughts. You're going to screw up the healing. Just let the shit, the emotional chemical peptides that are controlling you, to let it come up, and then watch them dissipate. And eventually you'll start to have energy shift after energy shift to the point where you'll feel like it doesn't matter anymore. It's not, I don't care, because that's like a suppressing, but it's literally a transformation. Wouldn't you feel like that's how it goes, Amy, for you?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't care anymore. It's just like you don't really feel it controlling anymore.
It doesn't control you anymore, and there's like a sense of peace.
Yes. And it's a whole different ball game, because you get to take that thing that was controlling you and you release it and say, I don't think so. And you're done. Okay. So I hope that helps you, Marianne, because I feel like you're ready. You heard just enough. And you're like, yeah, I can start to heal some of my heart. So more power to you. And we appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to double check. Anybody else that needs a reading, wants a reading, or if you've paid, I got to check. Something's telling me I need to look. What am I looking for? Did somebody pay for healing? What's going on? I can feel something. Miss Betty, what's this about? Let's see. Ah, you love. Aw, I love you too. Thank you so much for that donation. See, I love when Spirit can come in and help on such a great level, and she says it has. That 1 minute, well, even though I've done 2 or 3 minutes with it, but the point is it was like, she goes, I received a full healing. See, and if you just allow that energy to come through, you can really begin to change. You really can. Yeah, I'm sorry. Spirit tattled. I was trying to do it sneaky. I'm sorry. Spirit's like, pay attention. I'm like, okay. You still needed the love. Oh, and I seen that your mama that came. I love her too. That's awesome. That's great. As long as you guys get it. I mean, it's not about blaming anybody. It's about getting those damn energies to just, I'm in charge. But you got to heal it out. Heal it out. Kayla said she sent an email, Ames.
Okay.
Okay, Vicky said, oh, no, that's just old pattern. Okay, old one. I thought there was another one there. Okay, just going to double check. You're welcome, Mary. Good job. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Hey, Diana. Oh, got to get the right screen here. Oh, it just felt like a bird just flew by me. Feel my bird. Yeah, this is a dragon. I like my dragon. But you want to know really what it is?
It matches your hair.
It's a car freshener from like the 80s. I don't know how it even got from Michigan to here. But when it showed up, I laughed because it was like, what am I supposed to do with you? And then today, it found its way on my necklace. I says, I need red. I was telling Amy that. I need some red and black. I need some red. And all of a sudden, I have a little bit of the black, and there's a little bit of the red. And if you look, it looks a little bit of the blonde. And what do I have there? And it's like, how funny. Sometimes you just manifest and you don't even know it. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
She says, I'm so sorry. It's a little long. That's okay.
I am dealing with some issues at nighttime. When I'm sleeping, I have horrible body jerks, spasms. It's where my fiance is worried I am having slight seizures. Also, there's times where I'm awake one minute and then the next thing I know, I'm catching myself from passing out. There's a few times there where I actually fell out and got slightly hurt from falling into things. But when this happens, I have no memory of what happened. Can you please look into this for me? Thank you, Kayla.
So at 2 years old, you had something happen where you stored this pain, a particular pain. Now it's coming to the surface. And he says, pay attention to what happened to you. What are you pointing to? What age? Wow, we're going back. You're saying at 1? An action. Your action? Someone's action. And you got pictures. You got pictures. And you can feel the pictures of contempt from somebody. Kayla, what time of the night? How many times? I need you to tell me what time of the night. Get the exact times if possible. Because, or the exact times during the day. Somehow your circadian rhythms are off. But how they're playing out is, as I'm beginning to see this pattern, they're saying it affects the nervous system. It affects the trachea. And it affects the connective tissues. So there's a miscommunication. So there's actually misfiring. So you're talking this? No, misfiring. It's mental. So there is mental stuff. It's on the mental level that needs to be worked through. And if I asked what's going on a little bit more, they're not giving that. Okay. What is it about? So reproach. So that, how do I approach people? Because they're going to treat me a certain way. So which way are they treating you? And in this case, they're treating you as you're a failure. What? So I'm going to approach Amy. Amy, how you doing? Okay, but Amy, you need to treat me like, shit. Be mean.
To come live.
Huh?
She's willing to come live.
So what are you doing? Reading my mind, Miss Ames? Are you?
I think it's just downloading into me. Because Betty pretty much said the same thing.
Oh, you all been reading my mind. Okay, so Kayla Wood. Okay, let me just finish this out. The reproach. Amy, I want you to be nice, and I'll do the reproach. Okay, so get my attention, Amy.
Hey, Brenda.
What? Okay, that's a reproach. She's like, what the fuck? So how'd that work? Was that good? But could you feel the energy come through? All right, I need to clean you off. You don't need that. I love you, Ames. Hold on, let me get it off. Okay. Anyways, a reproach is you don't know. She just assumed I was going to be nice to her. But I didn't. I tanked her. I threw my shit at her. Okay. According to your little self, I don't know if you looked at Amy's expression, but she's pretty good at knowing how to have a stone cold, blank slate face. Even with her eyes. She's good. One of the things she's going to have to heal is how she's had to suppress her feelings. We'll get to that another day. Just heads up, Miss Ames. Yes.
Not today.
Not today. But Spirit, you are absolutely correct. We will have her on. Y'all knew exactly what Spirit wanted, and I'm sitting here. Do we really want to do it? Yes. If she wants, there's the number. Get to the Zoom room as to join and type in that number. We will meet you here. In the meantime, I am going to say, hello, Diana. Diana, do you know? I feel like I need to dance and do the salsa, Diana. Oh, that's just a coming to me. I mean, I just feel like, so are you feeling pretty good? Or what the heck? Because it's like I'm in a whole different space. I need to dance. I need to move. I need to put music in my soul. Wow, girlfriend. That's good. Miss Diana. What do we want? I swear, when they come through, they just like to do little things to me. Wham! You have hope on the horizon. And, you can't see it, but she gave me a star. Now, star always is a great symbol of hope to me. Hope also is an anchor. So, you have some hope. Hope is fine. You finally found the lit candle. Excuse me. Good Lord. And they're saying that while you can now know that the candle is lit, notice that you have fun. You have, you're ready to put the fun back into your space. And I'm like, okay, what else? And they said, there's learning to take those moments and go, no, I freaking don't need to go there. Start arguing. Be the boss. No. Okay. And it is about getting your brain, different parts of your brain, to start cooperating with you. Now, in class, I don't know if it's going to be this weekend because I got all these other things I wanted to teach, but you're going to learn the biology of fear, and we're going to learn the tools of how to get rid of it. Now, in this case, they're saying it's better, but because you're doing so well, they want you to do L3S, because you're in between wishy-washy, so-so, grudges, and habitual fear. Guess what? They all fall under the bladder anyway. So remember, left wrist, 3 positions, and soft. And even when you start to feel wishy-washy, heal it out. You need your willpower back. And you need those moments to start to grow. You're welcome. She says, thank you for yesterday. You're welcome. I'm hoping you're better. I haven't read what you wrote, but I hope that you're better. Now, I do not see her. Now, hopefully, if she needs help, Kayla can.
She cut out and she just asked us. And I said yes. Yes, Kayla, come to the Zoom room, please.
Yep, and there's the number. So that's all good. Yes. Okay, so whoops. Haha. There. I messed up my camera. Okay, so I have a friend. I can feel her being drained. So we're just going to take a few seconds. She doesn't feel well. Well, first of all, I can feel that. Yeah, Zoom can be downloaded very quick. You know, I feel like I'm supposed to have these blonde little streaks. I don't think that would look good, but my God. I already got one. Or is that what they're telling me? Let go. Anyways, we're healing. All right, she's going to bring the number in. I'm just going to send one out to my friend. And that is that there's this lot of disconnection of energies, and I'm just going to send energies her way because I know she's asked. And I'm just going to see if we can raise the frequency. So that means you match the frequency of help, and you line up to her mirror, and hopefully her mirror will say yes. And if so, oh, see, she just took some. Now she's going to start taking and bringing in. There it is. She's going to start bringing it in. Oh, see, but there's a part of her that's got stuck in her thoughts. What thoughts is she doing? All right, so eradicated behavior has thrown her off. I'll have to make sure I take a note of that. I know I'll forget it. That's why her body's like, oh, I'm taking a shit. I can't be healthy right now. All right, so we're going to have that energy set there so they can start pulling her out and maybe giving her some light to balance it. What the heck is her name? There we go. Okay. You have Zoom. Say join room. And it's this number here. That is the number, I hope. Amory.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you are, you secret little girl, you. You're duck. I got to see you. And it is that number.
Yes, it is that number.
There you are. The girl behind the logo.
Behind the crown?
Oh, yeah. Oh, behind the crown. Ooh. That reminds me of Wizard of Oz. Who's behind the curtain? But who's behind the crown? Because if you notice my logo, I wear my crown today. See, it's on my head. I don't know why. They're silly as goofball nuts. I'm surprised they haven't made me pat my head and rub my stomach and eat like a monkey. Some days when I'm healing, I swear, you want me to do what? I'll look, and then when I first started doing this, I said, so are you just having a good laugh over there and seeing if I'll do what you ask? They go, no, there's purpose to what you're doing. Okay. Yeah.
You guys is doing, she's just going apeshit over here.
Who is?
Kitten.
What is she doing?
She's playing with her laser light. I just let it sit there, and she will pounce on it.
The fun and the joy. What's after 893-288? Oh, Betty's got it too. Good job. We're all here to support you. Who in the heck needs food?
Not me.
Oh, God, I really want to eat. 288. Oh, she probably can't see it if she's in a different screen. Duh, Brenda. 288. So it's 121-893-288. That's 121-893-288. Did I do that okay, Ames? All right, so Pilly said it's not her. Okay. Somebody needs some food. Wait, what do you need? Protein? Somebody needs protein. Put down that candy bar right now. You need some water, and you need to go get some meat, like fish or chicken or some type of protein. Get an egg. Vicky? She says, that'd be me. I have the munchies. Holy crap. I really just want to eat. You know what I really want? Something salty. Who wants the salty? Oh, good. I crack people up. I could be a comedian.
I had sheephead last night.
You had what?
Sheephead.
Oh, I don't know about sheephead. Hi, just a second. Let me get you on view here. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Now we just got to get the volume correct.
It's a kind of fish.
Sheep's has a fish?
There's a fish called sheephead.
Well, that's just silly as nuts. Okay, can we hear you now?
Yep.
Yay! Okay. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Now, so you have to realign me up because, so start off of, see, I'm lost because they didn't cook. You talk. What did you need?
I was just wondering if you could look into any of that for me.
Yeah, that's the part I don't
most
remember.
thing.
Amy, what did I say? What am I supposed to be looking into? My brain. I'm waiting for them to line me back up. I'm looking for a key.
Night.
Huh?
Body shakes at night.
Yes, that's it. Hold on. Yes, gotcha. I'm aligned. Do you know what time that it happened?
It's all through. It's the whole night.
Okay, so it's
Last
when
week.
you were in REM sleep. Do you remember any of your dreams?
No.
Okay, so you literally check out of your body? What do you, astral travel? No. Do you disconnect certain? Wait. Okay. Are you in the body when you're sleeping? No. What about you toward yourself? Oh, okay. So I have to do something deeper, which means I have to go to one of my bigger healing tools. Here we go. The metal element. Which chakra? The sixth chakra. And you have an active memory going back to the 5 elements of wood. Oh, this isn't going to be an easy one, is it? Oh, this one. No. This one. No. Bear with me. This one. Yes. Okay, so wood, the gallbladder, doesn't mother the see. So when you're talking elements, you're talking about how energy is supposed to mother like a child. And notice my face, I'm starting to get red. That is my male side. So wood, I think that is yang. It does not feed. So does it disrupt there? This is where you disconnect. Doesn't go through fire properly, doesn't go through earth, but it comes down to metal. Is it because of this one? No, it's this round. It affects the large intestine and lung, the whole thing. So it goes to lung and then it goes to metal. Yes. Okay, really. And then what was it about? You said it had to do with the sixth chakra. So you're really working on a soul freaking level on something. That's what we're going to look at. So just so you understand, you have this on the outside of the ring. Okay, you have yin, you have yang. This is wood. This one's supposed to mother, and then they're supposed to mother all around. This energy is not going anywhere because there's like a disconnect.
Okay.
And so they're starving. These kids, the mother's not feeding these kids. Okay, does that make sense so far?
Okay.
But this one, the yin and yang, are not getting enough energy. See, so it's supposed to zing back and kind of, it's not doing any of that. See, it's supposed to get something from, where do you want it from? Okay, so it goes up, down. So see, it's supposed to zing back, but it's not. So literally, you're not getting the energies to cooperate at all during the night, but pretty much I see it right now too. And as I'm looking, you got like a mask, half of a mask on. How do I want to do it? Like this? Do you feel something strange on that part of your face?
Not well. Right now, I have a slight headache, but on the right side.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That's what I'm looking at. I can never do these things, but yeah, That's what I'm looking at right there. So it's a slight headache. So that means that energy is starved. Now, we could do source point healing to help you get rid of that headache. But do you want me to do that? Yes and no. No, because it has to do with an active memory. What age? Oh, okay. What past life? 62 past lives ago. Is this genetic? No. And this active memory is from that past life. You're talking about in the same dimension? Well, it would not be, of course. Okay, so now I'm in alignment with this string alignment. As above, so below. So the axotonal alignment is not cooperating, because now all of a sudden my stomach and everything else, I feel very unstable. So is this the chakra? No, this is the, okay. And they said that it completely throws your potential hydrogen off, which is you need more alkaline in your system, but there's too much acidic. Things are turning to acidic. Okay. Oh, woo, my goodness. So have you ever been pregnant?
Yeah.
What happened? And did you have full term? Did you have complications?
My first pregnancy, she was premature. They stopped my labor, but then I went home the next day, and that night I actually delivered her at home. I didn't even know I was in labor the whole time. I delivered her at home, and then the second one was fine. I went to the hospital and everything with her.
All right, so this wounds, are you talking about the wounds of this labor, or are you talking about 62? Okay, so going back, I'm just going to refer to it as a 62 life.
Okay.
So this is referred to as pregnancy, but the wound from that, and it threw you into menopause. You're too young for menopause, aren't you?
31.
Yeah, you're still young. But we're talking at 62, though. 62. So at 62 lifetimes, there is a menopause effect. So what is the memory? Now, this is what we're going to do. What's the memory about that's causing this? And they said that it's about injustice. Well, does it show up at all in this life? They said, go somewhere else. It's about the pain. 62 life about injustice. And there is the, okay, so look toward, okay, so do you feel like something in your life is very monotonous right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that monotonous starting to get to you?
Somewhat, not much.
Okay. So it's not causing an overwhelm, and it's not causing you to feel like you want something to change, because I feel this.
No.
Okay. So this is, again, just the past life then. Okay. I got to figure out what the stomach is about, because it says the gallbladder, if we were to read it, again, it's not about now. You had to give up on your expectations. Yeah. Then what? Then you had to yearn, and you have to constantly be in distress, which to you in that life would be monotonous. So this is unfinished business that you had with that particular active memory at 62 past life. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm asking Spirit, why the hell does that have to come through and bleed through? They said, so glad you ask, because it's a habit. The habit is about contempt. Aha, because that was something I was going to say. I don't know if I said it before, but it's about the contempt people had towards you in that particular lifetime. And it was a contempt that you had towards yourself about your choice. It's the contempt that you can feel from people. So when you think of contempt, I'm going to get the exact wording, okay? Just so that we can see if it triggers in you.
Okay.
Contempt meaning. Okay. The feeling that a person or a thing is worthless, it's beneath consideration. And not even, did you hear the yes? As you did that, could you feel that one side of your face flare?
Yeah.
I literally heard it spike. And now, yes. Ooh, a whole part of me is just want to drain. I'm mimicking your body. So there's a whole lot of shit that's happening, because if I turned you sideways on the mirror, I would literally see the echo of all 62. Now, are you beneath consideration to people? Is that what you think? Or is that what you know?
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about yourself then? Do you do it to yourself too? Or is it just,
Yeah, I do it to myself too.
oh, this is freaking strong. This is like, it's weird, but the best way to just, well, you could see it. The best thing to help you understand was that it says that it's like a hanging. Your type needs to be abused. I feel that you're probably about this age in that 62 life. And justice back then, I can't tell you exactly what, but I feel like maybe a hanging. It's very strange. And I feel like your body is going, oh my God, it's going to happen again. That's why it's like, I can feel the setup. It's not going to happen again, but your body doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have an active memory. And they said the main trick that's causing this in your nervous system is contempt. And this is a very strong pain because you knew it was wrong. Your 62 life was, you knew what they were saying about you was so untrue and unfair. Mm-hmm. There was no way to defend yourself. And it's like when the king stepped up and says, well, I don't like my wife anymore, so I'm going to just behead her. Okay. So there's nothing you can say. It's like the shit stuck because somebody was in the strong position to put you beneath and make sure everybody's seen it. Okay. Oh, God bless America. My head is now throbbing. How's your head? Has it changed any?
Yes, it got worse a little bit.
Oh, fuck me. I mean, sorry. I'm going to get Tourette's. Oh, God. Holy shit bricks. Okay, hold on. Okay, I get the intensity. Please stop. All right, so you've had somebody in your space just recently that had the same signature, same ego, same as that past life. And you can feel the contempt they've got. Can you feel it? I mean, it's like it's making every part of my nerve in my neck and my head so tight right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it more than one person?
Probably.
But it's one person in particular because holy shit. I mean, literally it's, All right, let me see. How do you want, she's got this. What do you want her to know? Anything else? It's the action they took if you stood up. So apparently in that 62 life, you stood up. You stood up. And for a female of that particular time, it was wrong to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of try to do the Joan of Arc thing, by standing up. Well, it didn't take long. And you felt the pain. They made sure you didn't, it wasn't even about being quick. It was made sure that you suffer. They wanted people to see. So this person you have in your space, and I think you know who I'm talking about. I mean, there's several different energies, but there's like, how do they bad talk you? I mean, do you know how they do it?
Yeah. Yeah, they've already bad talked me directly, so.
They did it to your face. I'm going to ask, is this person from that past life too? Yes. So it's like a do-over, but it's a no-no. Okay, so can they persuade a room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of it too. What do you want her to do? Okay, so we're going to look at it from another perspective, okay? Why does your soul want this to repeat? This, you got the physical symptoms. Why is it showing you up to you this way? Okay, so it's a panic. Like, for instance, when I gave birth the first time, oh, that was holy hell. When I found I was pregnant again, I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, it's not that I didn't want to be pregnant. I love that. It was the idea that I had to give birth. My body was like, what? What? And my body, it took a long time to finally accept the fact I was pregnant. Okay, fine. Now, that did affect my daughter. She's like, you didn't want me. That's not it. My body was completely freaking scared. That when I went into labor, the first sign of pain, my body went into a panic attack, which drove me into a panic attack. And they were trying to figure out how to calm me down. Okay.
Okay.
So that's similar to what's happening, is that your body is like going, oh, fuck, we're doing this again. I don't want to do this again. Okay. There was something to do. I think that's why they started to bring up the child line. There's something you have to do towards yourself. In this lifetime, you're like, no, I don't. Okay, so this is part of, now we're going to jump up to the sixth chakra. How do you see beyond pride? You see them lick their wounds. No. They want to make sure you lick your wounds. Oh, you have hope on your wall. Do I just sit? Oh, I love that. Oh, I like the way that's written. Sorry, I get all excited. It's the eradicated behavior that they seem to display. There's a part of you that's not sure. Like in the sheep's and wolf clothing, it's that reproach. It is, you're not sure if tread lightly, walk on eggshells. You've learned from this pattern how they do anything is how to do everything. So you're kind of aware. You already know. But you can't seem to get rid of this person. What the hell is this part of family?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I told the story earlier about the woman that did that to me. Okay, this is where you're going to have to break the cords, give it to spirit to take care of, and be okay with how it's going to be rearranged. It'll be in your favor, but you have to, and this is one thing I'm going to tell you to do on your own, is that you're going to do cord switching. I can't tell you the value of it. You can only experience the value, but you take the cord switching, and I'm going to throw in the treasure chest. So you're going to go in and you're going to go to my webpage and you're going to look at those and read them and watch the video.
Okay.
Let's go. Whew. Hang on, body. We're going to get to you next. Your body says, don't forget me. I'm fully aware. But you're going to do the cord switching. Okay. You literally need to pull out those roots.
Okay.
And when you're doing it, you focus on the contempt, the reproach, and you just keep pulling it out. Pull it out. Just keep pulling it out. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where you're going to go, they put that shit on to me. You'll get an awakening. There'll be awakening. Trust me. And then you're going to take your power back. You're going to pull it through the purple heart and the violet flame, and you're going to have nice, clean energy. But as you pull it out, you don't have to give it to them. You put it in the treasure chest. Okay? They can get their own shit. They can figure out their own karma. Take it out, put it in the treasure chest. You take your power back, and you keep doing it. Every time, like pop in your head. Every time that's happened, you keep doing that because you need to clean out all the pictures, all of the stories, all of the things, because you got 62 lifetimes. You're cleaning out basically all 62, but you're just going to do it. And once you start to feel the difference, you will really begin to feel the difference. You'll think differently. The golden white light at the end is so important because when you connect it out and extend it out, if they don't accept it, you leave it there because more shit needs to come up for you to pull out. Okay. Don't ever take that cord away. This means that they have to establish a new relationship with you if they're going to be serious about wanting to be with you in this life. The value of the cord switching will eventually cause them to zig and zag. Okay. The treasure chest. There is so many different things that your body, it's like, okay, you'll start to notice. You're going to start taking care of it and do the treasure chest like it says. for how you feel right now, we got to get your circadian rhythms to cooperate. Now, you're going to also look for the HORA, HORAY, jet lag, and you're going to follow what that chart says. That's part of the physical. So whatever the time of the day is, what time you got there now?
12:30.
So at 12:30, so you'll look in the chart and you'll see it. It'll say 11 to 1 a.m. or 11 to 1 p.m. And you're going to rub, in this case, it'd be the heart and the gallbladder point. And you'll find them because there's a chart shows you where to rub. You do both sides of the body, good 30 times. But for you, you're going to include a magnet. Not every time, just, use it in the beginning of like, if this round, then you're doing it on your heart point, cleaning it off. And then when you're done, you don't have to do that again if you did the heart once. Now, but if you feel like you have to, you do it. But rub a good 30 times on both sides, and then do it different times, especially when you're awake. Don't force yourself to wake up. You can catch it at another time. We got to get those circadian rhythms in sync. Now, your headache, on a scale from 0 to 10, how bad's your head?
I'd say about a 7. They're constant. I get them all the time.
Okay.
And they're that bad.
Okay, so we're going to get you what's called the source point healing. In this case, they want you to work on. So, do we need a magnet? Yeah. If you don't have a refrigerator magnet, no problem. Use your hand, but you're going to use both sides of it. I want you to right now. I think you're holding your phone, but you, if you can put your phone down.
Yep.
I really like that hope. Anyway. Okay. You're gonna take your hand and understand it's under the pinky. Okay, so this point here, and you're gonna rub it back and forth. Do that 12 times. So just do that 12 times right now if you can. There you go. And then over to the other side. Don't forget the other wrist. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. You'll start noticing the headaches will also be in the time of your circadian rhythms too. Okay. And then you're going to rub that point. And it is right there, right where it bends. Okay. You're going to rub it. Get in there and give it a good 30 times. Okay. And this is, you're going to measure. So it's a 7. Your head's a 7. So just keep rubbing. Give it a good 30 times. And then jump over to the other side when you got it 30 times. Now you're going to do a nice 30 times. My God, somebody's eating Pringles. I haven't had those forever. You know what I miss? Corn chips. My mother used to have chocolate stars and corn chips. They have no such thing corn chips in this.
Brenda?
Yes, you may have to send me corn chips. Okay, now measure your head. Still a 7?
It's decreasing.
Good. Now you're going to have to find this. It's on follow your toe, your pinky toe, and you're going to come up. And how you're going to find it is that you find that knuckle, the bone stick out, and right in front of it, you'll feel like it dips right in like a dent. Now, some people's are puffy, but if you feel it, rub those, get in there. You're going to need to use the magnet on that too. Yes. Okay, so take your hand and go over that. You're going to have to do both sides of your ankle. So do that right now.
30 times?
12. Just do 12 times. Okay. And so we're going to change the magnetic part of that. See, I don't mind regular chips, but do you know what they have over here? Chicken chips. No, it's good.
It's something new.
It's like chicken salt. It's like, oh my God, they're very addicting. Oh. Yeah, put this chicken.
Like my sweet and salty.
But this is like chicken. You're eating it. You're like, but you wouldn't think it'd be any good. But my gosh, they're so addicting. Now, I'm not a chip person, but I will. Oh, see, now she's getting it. Now, in that spot, when you're all done, you're going to take your little thummies and you're going to rub those. You could actually, if you're not holding your phone, you could rub both of those at the same time. But get in there and rub them. I'm not going to get out get in my tummy. Yeah, sorry, fat bastard. Get in my. Oh my God, I got too many movies in my head right now.
Okay, I did both sides.
Good. Now, how's the head?
Good.
Now, what number is it?
I'd say about a 5. It went down a lot.
Ain't good enough. Who wants 0? I always yell at Amy. Amy, what the hell? You think you have deserved punishment? No. Okay, now see the middle. Okay, the middle.
Okay.
Do you need magnet on this? No, you don't need a magnet on this. So this one, right in the middle, just get in there and give it a good rub. This is to do with your circulation, the blood, and the hormones. So you get in there and you give it a nice, good 30 times. Then you go on to the other side and do it on the nice 30 times. So but we're going to balance this helps you right now. But if you notice, it'll be about the circadian rhythms. Yes. There you go. When you get both sides, measure again. Okay. And then this last
Back down to a 3 now.
good. And you see this point here? It's when you put the thumb and the pointer finger together, the bones meet right here.
Okay.
You're going to think, and you're going to notice how you're forced to be invalidated. You're like, motherfucker. Okay. Anyway, you're going to get in there and you don't have to use a magnet, but just get in there. That probably might be sore because I can feel that on me.
Yeah.
It's like, ow. Okay, well, be gentle, but get in there and rub it. Nice 30 times. Might change your breathing so you can get the blood and the action into the brain. Relax your jaw. Now we do the other side. That one's not as bad from what I can feel. But my sinuses want to run. Oh, your large intestine has everything to do with your sinuses, just to let you know. All right, so what number you got when you're done, you let me know.
I'd say about a 1.
Okay, but that's not good enough for me. We want you to do spleen. You want this one? No. Do you want the one, that one? No, side of the toe. Gotcha. Okay, so back to the feet we go, darling. So it's that, just whatever that whole big bump, just rub it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that with your toe. If you're in bed and you're too lazy to rub it, your other toes can work great. Trust me. So in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh my God, I have found how I can contort my toes and my feet to rub my ankles, wrap it around, get that point. And then all of a sudden everything balances and I go right back to sleep. You know, trust me, I do this all the time. So when I say I live it, really walk it, talk it, and dream it, healing and all that, I literally am, because I will like have breathing issues. All of a sudden my body goes, I got this. And it does all this innate healing. I find that it looks like I'm scratching, but I'm not. I'm rebalancing the energies. Her energy of her spine just went up. Her energy just started going up. Mine just cracked. And for the first time, she's starting to feel the brain neuromatter. Oh, it feels fluffy now. Not as tense back there. How do you feel?
Good.
All right.
Really good.
Now, it's very important to do the Hara ones immediately. Now, I've got to make sure. So you email me right after this so that I can make sure I'm sending you the correct links. Okay. But the other ones, when you got to heal that person out of your life, if I have to give you further instructions, I will. Okay. But I totally appreciate you coming on and sharing and being vulnerable. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
So much.
You're welcome. And you don't need to suffer. Okay. My whole body's like, it's changing. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So that is, well, you got an introduction to source point healing, and you got to see a reading that had to do with the past life. How do you feel about those apples? Anybody here that wants a reading before I go? Because it's over 3 hours and it's going to close soon. Anybody emailed? Anybody here? Anybody?
No, I know.
YouTube land. Anybody over there? Somebody says hi, hello. Anybody? Going once and going twice? Probably should wait a second.
So,
Oh, thank you, Kayla. She says, you're amazing. Thank you. Remember, you do not have to suffer. Suffering is an option. And it may sound bizarre what I do and I say, but believe me, you are the master. We just have to get your personal life force power that's out there back into you, minus all the other shit, all of the other ego stuff. You don't need it. Ah, Moon says, yes, Moon. What do you want? Do you want just any particular question? Because I can just do a quick. This is a reading, but it's also about the energies of why things are. Yeah, 64. It's so done according to that. I mean, some of these. I mean, I had this one woman. She had it for 1,000 lifetimes. I says, "Holy shit! What aren't you learning?" And it was breaking free from the way the ego forces you to think that that's the way you can only think, and it's breaking out of the paradigms, breaking out of the group consciousness, the collective, and it changes tremendously. All right, so Moon, one of the things that we do on Thursdays versus another day is that it's about, so they said that your security seems to be an issue, and it's not the security of your home. This is inside the energy of, do I feel secure enough? And they said that what happens is that it created a reaction. So the first time that you felt insecure was at 3. The one other time that they're saying is very detrimental happened to be at 18. And the security that you felt towards yourself, the confidence and stuff that you had towards yourself, kind of got a little disturbed by that, what had happened, that you actually created a strategy to be able to balance it out, to not have that awkwardness. And so the reason they're bringing that up is because they're saying that it's about a pattern they want you to witness. And that is, you have to be something that you don't want to be out of sympathy. So you don't realize that a pattern of somebody is appearing, and using sympathy as a way to get your attention literally begins to make me feel drained. And you have this kind heart, I'm going to put myself out there. And there's the extremes. In this case, when you're too kind, when you're too nice, and you're too, it's the right thing to do. But if somebody knows that you're giving out this part of yourself, you will group up so that you will continue to do this until you resolve it. And the thing is they said that if you were to understand sympathy, you can get a sympathy vote, but there are some people that play on your sympathy. There are some people that use, again, they're saying pay attention to that it literally begins to throw your energies off. If you catch yourself saying, I can't figure that out. Now, when that happens, you can't figure something out, and you find that you're moved to have to give a response, and you've gotten to the point where you don't want to, then you have to look at the trigger. If you can't figure out what I'm talking about right now, understand it's not about that it's happening right now. It's something that has happened, and it's time to resolve that out. Okay. I would use a healing tool. EFT is one. But for you, I would go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com and look for cord switching. Literally start breaking these cords. And the reason I say that's what's happening, you won't lose how beautiful you are as far as to give and to love, but you will stop having to show up that way for a person. Okay. Vicky says, I'm telling you, I was getting zing after zing. Oh, really? Zing-a-ding-ding. Ah, yes, stay blessed. See, Diane already knows. So hopefully, Moon, that makes, since there's no feedback, I'm hoping you understood what I said. I don't know where they're going with this. Thank you very much for sharing this. Rewatch, whatever you want to do. Hit like, share, notify, all that good stuff. Tell everybody. We're creating a movement for change. You get your power back, and you get to have a better, healthier life. As I always say, resolve to evolve. What's that?
Heal and study deal.
Ah, yes. And you can heal that. Patty said that was amazing. Yay. And what do we always like to say here at this wonderful place? And that is stay blessed. All right, so here goes the outro. All right, you wonderful people. We will talk to you later. Okay, and I appreciate you all being here.